All right, guys, enough. We're ranting about God of War too much because I'm replaying them and I'm frustrated with the story. But anyway, yesterday when I was on stream, people kept popping in. It's like, Papa Gut, did you see what happened to Trump? And, you know, of course, I have multiple times. And, you know, it's a sad thing. I'll say it definitely shows a country, a wounded country, for something like that to happen. It's a terrible thing. It should never happen. It's a little funny because not less than a month ago, I was hanging out with my mom. My mom is conservative, and she's voted Trump twice. She's not a Trumper, though. You know, she's a conservative. And she was like, you know, with the way this guy keeps talking, he's going to get shot. I was like, that's funny. And then he did, which was an interesting scene. I have a couple of things to say about it. One, obviously, terrible thing that happened. Like I said, you know, it shows a wounded country. Two, liberals, you need to start supporting the Second Amendment because you guys are a bad shot. You know, three, I don't feel that bad about. I mean, three, he looks like a badass. He looked like a badass recovering from that. I mean, I'm almost at a point where I almost think he planned it himself to make him look like such a badass. The guy sat after it happened. He's sitting there with his fist up in the air. You know, it makes for a cool shirt. So you got to give him that. But then four, I know this is going to sound terrible. I don't necessarily care. You know, Trump is the worst president. Well, not even talking about his policies. The guy lost, and he didn't take an L. He tried to overthrow the government. He tried to stop Mike Pence from you know, officiating it. He wanted him to throw out the votes, even though he's wrong, even though every single conservative judge and liberal judge across every single state that he tried to sue was like, there was no widespread voter fraud that had any impact on the election. And then he fucking was riling up January 6th saying, this is our time to fight, until he realized that people were actually fighting. And then he's like, no, wait, guys, I meant be nice. And tried to walk it back, but it was too late. Trump is an anti-American baby. That never should have happened, but I'm not, like, upset about it. Like, I'm not like, oh, no, Trump. Like, he's a baby. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. So it's terrible that this is where things are going, but, you know, he's a baby. And so I think that my take is similar to Destiny's take. His is just probably going to come off a little less hinged, which is Destiny's problem is he doesn't typically respect the expression of his takes. I don't know if that's for more attention or because he just wants to rile people up. I don't really know. But this guy obviously wasn't a trained marksman. Let's be real. I mean, he shot for the head. You don't, not to be an asshole, you never do that. You always shoot for center of mass. Like I said, libs, you got to support the 2A. You know, you got to grab some bare arms. But let's just get this going. This is from Wick TV. I guess he talked to Destiny because he was upset. And let's see what we got here. That's not it.
Give it a second.
I'm giving it multiple seconds, brother. I must watch CNN. I don't like CNN. CNN is annoying. Throughout the whole in the Mueller investigation, CNN was like the most toxic, worst dog shit ever. All they did was strengthen Trump. Like when Trump first got elected, not particularly, they didn't have very much decorum. I understand why people voted him in. People voted him in because Hillary was like, the jobs are disappearing. There's nothing we can do about it. You know, like coal mining jobs. And Trump's like, I'll do something, and he did. Even if his policy inflated the annual federal deficit before COVID, and I don't think it was a good idea because it was permanent tax cuts for the rich and temporary tax cuts for the middle class. At least he delivered on that promise. You got to give him credit for that. I understand, but like, what is CNN doing? Like, every single day, breaking news, guys. Trump did it. Trump did it. Trump did it. He did Russian collusion. And then what happened when there was no Russian collusion? We saw Russian interference, but there was no collusion. There was no actively working with Trump. What happened then? Oh, they look like fucking idiots, and now nobody trusts like liberal media anymore. So I don't watch CNN. CNN are fucking idiots. They're the same thing. They're really no better than Fox. I mean, Fox is better at lying, but CNN wishes they could be Fox. I mean, like, let's not pretend otherwise. So I don't like CNN. They're a bunch of fucking losers. Thank you so much for $2 from Jonathan Vale. My Yankee just lost because players tripped. I'm here. Incredible.
Now, can you hear me?
Destiny.
Oh, my shit's working. What's up?
There we go.
Yeah.
Destiny,
so,
can you hear him?
You made a tweet, and I'm feeling certain kind of way about it.
Do I have to turn him up, or are we good?
I
Okay.
don't. Yeah, you can call me soy all you like, right?
Which is
But just because the other side, like Trump, jokes about Pelosi's husband getting hammered by a guy with a hammer and things.
I thought he meant getting drunk.
Just because that side.
Thank you so much for the $2 from Silver Eagle. Don't get your ear pierced at Claire's Trump. What? You guys are weird with your jokes.
Engages in that kind of behavior and that kind of rhetoric and that kind of ha ha ha, we can joke about the bad things that happen to them. I don't think that makes it okay for us to turn around and do the same. And
well, I mean, if Trump is actually joking about people getting, well, I mean, getting hit with a hammer, I think I don't really know the context of that, but okay, whatever. Okay.
In fact, I think that's one of the reasons we are at this point that we are in this country.
No, I
that's a little silly.
reject that. No, we need to. That needs to stop. The whole idea that like, well, the reason why we're here is because liberals and the left just haven't cucked out enough. The reason why we're here, the reason why we don't have our Supreme Court justice, the reason why Trump has to get criminal immunity to survive his court case is because the left just isn't kind enough. Nah, I'm over it. I'm super over it. My only regret is that the guy.
That's kind of base. I mean, Trump did stack the court. Part of the problem is the way that we, elect Supreme Court justices. I think every president should get one. Nice and easy. Because Obama was supposed to get one. Conservatives, like Republicans, cucked that out to the best of their ability to stop Obama from rightfully being able to choose. Then Trump was able to get 3, basically. So I think if not every president, every election. So if Trump gets elected twice, Trump gets 2 Supreme Court justices. Retire the oldest one. What is it, like 40 years, 36 years? I don't care about math. We need to move towards that system to stop dumb bullshit like this where they play political games. So
I didn't spend more time. Yes, that's exactly what you're saying.
That is not what I'm saying.
Hold on.
That it does sound like what you're saying. I don't know about this hammering thing. It seems irrelevant to me. But if Trump, and I could be wrong about it, but like I said, if Trump was sitting here and he was making jokes about somebody getting attacked with a hammer, then like, yeah, I mean, talk shit, get hit. No, like you're just getting that energy back. So this guy being like, even though he did joke about somebody getting beaten with a hammer, we shouldn't joke about him getting shot in the ear. It's like, well, why? That's like a weird cuck take. You know what I mean? What?
Hold on. You're saying we're here right now because the left is like turning the temperature too much. No, we're here right now because Trump is fucking insane, because he has support from 90% of the conservatives in the Republican Party who are entirely un-American. Fuck.
True, they're guzzling Russia's cum. Let's be real here. They are guzzling Russia's cum. Absolutely true. Which is so weird because Russia is anti-American. I remember the good old days when we all hated we all hated Russia. I like Russians. Okay, their women are hot. But Russia, antithetical. They don't have freedom of speech. They can't vote how they like. Somehow he must have been a great president because he's been elected for like, what, 20 years? You want to know like the real reason? Like the real reason why Trump is gaining support is because progressives are fucking pussies. Let's be real. Like, in all honesty, name a liberal that you're like, this guy's kind of cool. This guy's kind of a badass. This guy's he's got a spine. You can't name a single fucking progressive, a liberal with a spine. So at the end of the day, you got conservatives who are just like, I kind of get it. They're going to elect somebody that has some balls, and Trump has fucking balls, man. I mean, if he was standing proud after that shit. Like, you got to give him credit for that. He's got some fucking balls. Some people, that's going to resonate with them. They're going to be like, this guy got shot, and he had the fucking balls to just stand up and put his fist down and be like, fuck you. I'm going to vote for that guy. I understand why a progressive would do that. That's a very masculine thing to do. Guys are going to be like, that's badass. This guy can get us through anything. Now, is that true? Probably not. I mean, he's, politically fucking stupid as hell. But I get it. But there's no progressive that's doing that. The coolest guy on the left is Barack Obama, and he married a trans woman. I'm just kidding. I'm joking. Okay. He's smooth as fuck. He's a smooth black, mocha latte. But we need some more badasses. I'm just saying.
Fuck him. Whatever happens, happens.
Although people will say that Trump reacted pretty boldly to getting shot, but Biden wouldn't have even reacted, because that guy's got cold blood. He's a cold-blooded guy. All right, I think it's turning blue. I think he's starting to decay, actually.
I don't give a fuck. At this point, my only regret is that the guy didn't spend enough time practicing first.
Holy
Jesus Christ.
Insane how much conservatives get to set the fucking standard on all the conversation in this country. It's absolutely insane. We're supposed to jump up and feel sad that the guy who is one of the most divisive presidents in all of history got shot at? fucking.
Here's my thing. That's not sad at all. I don't care. But we shouldn't be celebrating it, right? That's the one thing I'll say. You shouldn't celebrate it.
Give me a break. Please give me a fucking break.
Okay, one person is dead who isn't Trump, right?
That's sad. That's a terrible thing.
Who got shot out. Someone in the crowd that was just going to a rally who got fucking murked by this guy. And two others are in critical condition. I think it's okay to show a little empathy. Don't you?
You're right. Hold on.
Oh, yeah, it is. That's terrible. Who is it that died? Do we know?
I'm sorry. I didn't know somebody else died. What state was this in?
Pennsylvania. My state.
Swing state voter. Fuck you.
Okay. This is... Oh, my God. I'm not... It's not even, like, funny. It's just so fucked up. This is the problem with Destiny. It's like, I agree generally with the take, but this part, it's like, wow, this is where you're going to lose people emotionally. And emotions matter. I'm a feminist. I care about women. Women are emotional, okay? I'm being stupid. But this is where you lose it. Like, somebody died, that is terrible. Another person died. We shouldn't be celebrating this. Like, again, I get people that they don't really care that Trump got shot at. From his perspective, it shows a wounded nation. That part I care about. I don't care about that Trump got shot. I just don't give a shit. I'm not trying to be an asshole, but like, again, he's, you know, he's. But I already explained at the beginning of the video. You know, the whole inciting January 6th, the whole like, oh, I'm not going to leave the office, blah, 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 blah. Very anti-American, very fucking, you know, cum guzzling bullshit. But that's where you got to draw a line somewhere. Because now you're just communicating you have no empathy. So if people don't think you have any empathetic base, they're not going to trust like anything that you have to say.
Sorry, what?
Even he's laughing. It's just fucked up.
Okay. This is the problem, right? It's not the only problem we have. But it's absolutely a problem when we think it's
all right. Stop yelling.
It's okay to joke about people getting fucking killed because they are political opponents, right? And it's
just to be clear. I don't think that. Okay, so I just wanted to hear. I think it's okay to joke about dark topics. Okay. But like Destiny is a political commentator, so his jokes about dark comments, they're not just like jokes. It's not Shane Gillis making like a silly little joke. It's like it's a different stage. It's very different because especially since Destiny's using the joke to communicate non-empathy about people like who died and got injured.
So it's a swing state voter. That's bullshit.
I feel like these are the moments that like it's gonna make it a little. I mean, Destiny is more mainstream than like I'll ever be. And I understand that, but I feel like these are the moments where like you lose more mainstream people. Because even like lefties or moderate leftists or moderate Democrats, whatever you want to call them, they're probably like, oh man, I just don't like the way this guy's talking. It's a little yucky. You know what I mean? Because that's how I feel. How I feel, brothers.
And this idea that we see the other side as this enemy that cannot be redeemed, that it's okay to joke about violence with. It's okay.
Does this guy really feel this way? It's a little cocky.
To make these
a little preachy, you know what I mean?
Asinine statements is one of the reasons that someone thought it was okay to take a shot at a contender for the presidency of the United States.
I think that guy, I saw what he looked like. He looked like the kind of guy that, listen, I'm not trying to be an asshole. He looked like an incel. He looked like the kind of guy who can't get any, and the most dangerous people in the world are incels. I don't know what to tell you. You know, sexless men are fucking doomed. Okay? They're doomed. I'm not even really joking. It's like he legitimately seemed like that. They'll do rash shit. This'll get me known. Somebody will think about me. You know. Thank you so much for the $5 from DJ Trey. Can't believe DJ T emoted after getting Donald Trump emoted after geting grazed. Honestly, I mean, yeah, my man's like it was kind of badass. It's hard to. I gotta be real.
We have opened up this Pandora box. We are lighting a fire that we will not be able to control, and it won't be just the people. The people who get burned won't just be the ones that we think deserve it. It's going to burn a whole lot of others. We're starting an inferno.
It's already burnt, dog. It's already.
What are you talking about? Papa's terminally online. That's why he feels bad for sketch and doesn't question this being fake. At the beginning of this, I gave my conspiracy theory that I think Trump organized this because it makes him look like a fucking badass. It's probably just a conspiracy. It's probably all real. Well, you're a weirdo. You're a weird person. Stop popping in the watch the whole stream. Stop being a pussy.
Already burning. What are you talking about?
That doesn't mean we throw wood on the fire and help it.
You're standing in a house on fire and you're like, well, hold on, guys. Like, it might get pretty hot in here if you actually turn the temperature up just a little bit. Listen, in the United States of America, no one citizen is greater than any other citizen. Donald Trump wanted absolute criminal immunity. I think this guy should get at least presumptive immunity until we've looked into a little bit, why it is he shot at him. Oh, shit, he's dead now, so I guess we can't. Or no, wait, who died? It was a voter instead? It wasn't the actual shooter? Who knows? Maybe the guy thought he was acting in his like official.
Oh, look, the shooter got taken out too. Of course, people in my group chat sent me the fucking shot. I had to see this kid dead. It was fucking crazy.
Capacity is like some servant to the United States.
It was definitely planned. I mean, I'm assuming that the kid planned it. Sure, I imagine that they planned it. Okay, I don't know.
Something.
Are you saying that you think, oh, maybe a political opponent thing? Maybe. I don't know. It's possible. You know, we're all fucking pawns, dude. I don't know.
No.
I'm still an NPC. That's crazy, brother.
Look, here's the
That's
deal.
crazy,
We don't
my
know
man.
what the motivation of the shooter was. I can't.
This is the thing, is that like a lot of this could have been planned. I don't really like. I just don't like going down the conspiracy pipeline because I think that feeding into it without a confirmation, it just leads to your own brain rot, and I don't want to be brain rotted. It's totally possible that Trump organized it himself to make it, you know, him look badass. So he had a badass moment. It's a weird conspiracy. It's also possible that his political opponents tried to take him out, and they activated the sexless incel that doesn't know how to shoot properly. But like at the end of the day, like what am I going to do? Sit here and make a hard line like this definitely happened? That's weird. That's a conspiracy. It's also possible that a sexless fucking little virgin man that is like soy and cucked and hates Trump feels so antagonized and feels so worked up by how constantly social media and media in general pounds into you and makes you feel like the end of the world is happening every single day, decided to get a gun and go shoot the president of the United States and try to be a hero. All these things make sense. We don't know. I don't know. There's so many things. And so operating on like, oh, this is conspiracy that I can never prove. It's definitely real. Like, what am I supposed to do? Act on that? That's fucking crazy. Like, I don't know. I would imagine that if it was planned by Biden or something or whatever political opponent, they would have just chosen a better guy to do it. Like, I would have chosen somebody better to do it. It makes more sense to me. You know, hey, or we don't never know. Maybe somebody even farther right than Trump. I don't know. All right. I don't know, dude.
Speculate on it. It could be someone on the left. It could be someone on the right.
Well, I heard that the shooter was actually a conservative, and he was really upset because Biden nominated Trump as his vice president. Okay, so I think that's what actually happened there. So,
like a Fuentes type who thought Trump didn't go far enough, right? And that was betraying them. It could be a Hamas guy who's like, oh, look at Trump. He wants
he looked white as fuck, bro.
to help Israel too much. We don't know, and we could just speculate. But what I will say, right, is yes, just because you're correct, whether there's fire burning right now, but that doesn't give us leave to throw more wood on it. What we should be instead is trying to tamp down, to turn the temperature down. And I understand that the other side is going to be assholes about this who are going to make all these jokes, and
but we have to be the better man, guys. I learned on my Thomas the Tank Engine TV show that we need to be better. I kind like, you know.
That's okay. That's why they lost in 2020.
Apparently he might have been a registered Republican. I mean, saying apparently and then might have is a little bit of a rough day, you know.
Because they went too extreme, right? And that's why they're going to continue to lose in the future, because they're the ones that everyone sees as the bad guys. So if we start to engage in that same type of rhetoric and that same type of behavior, people will not be able to see the difference between us and them, and we will lose that political edge. So even just...
Can I just ask you guys like a serious question, especially to people in here who don't like me, because you're actually who I want to hear from. Especially if you're somebody who didn't like me like a year and a half, 2 years ago during, you know, is this what I used to sound like? Did I used to sound this fucking preachy? Because I agree, like, it was bad what happened. It never should have happened. Like, I agree with that. Destiny's jokes are a little overboard for me. But this guy is soying out a little bit. So I'm just wondering, like, was this me? Was this me? Because I feel like, you know, yeah, it's not good that it happened, you know? But I don't know. He's being a little cucky to me. Is this? So I don't know.
Just from a strategic... Not throwing morals out the window here. Even from just a...
Don't just say yes. Don't just say yes. Okay? Think about it. Oh my god. I got people who actually follow me in a longer term capacity saying kind of. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. I still don't like you. That's... That's fair. That's fair. I'm still soy at times. That's good. I'm okay. I want to be a little soy at times. I think a little bit of soyness is a good thing. Okay? Just a little bit. But damn, well, that's a tough lesson that Papa God had to learn today. Just sad stuff, guys.
Strategic point of view, it's a dead end. It's a way that it's a race to the bottom.
That's
and it's going to hurt us. Like,
well, okay, I'm okay with it being a little bit of me, but okay, all right, we're moving on. We're moving on.
We should stop doing that. Look, I get it, right? I get it. It's annoying.
Just to be clear, we didn't win 2020 because they went too extreme. We won 2020 because Trump fucked his handling of COVID up so bad that it motivated voters on the Biden side and it demotivated some voters on the Trump side. Don't forget, Trump got the second most amount of votes in all of U.S. presidential election history. Okay.
Well, yeah, of course, because people were able to vote for an entire week instead of just one day and online. People forget that. I know a lot of people throw out the conspiracy like, oh, well, it doesn't make any sense that Biden would get more votes than any president ever. Like, it does. We were able to vote for a whole week. Tuesday is a terrible day to vote, okay? The only benefit to voting on Tuesday is that's typically when every video game does updates, so you have nothing better to do than go vote. But it's not a great time. All right, being able to vote for the entire week, doing mail-in ballots, which I'm not necessarily like all for mail-in, like widespread. We needed it because of COVID. But like being able to vote for a whole week is fucking awesome. If not, who's going to be able to vote? It's old people with, older people that have the ability to take time off whenever they want or they're retired are going to be able to vote. Older people tend to vote more, Republican. Right. So, it makes sense to allow people to vote the whole week. I think it's a great idea. It gives people the access to vote.
Only behind Biden in that election. So the idea that
they got too radical,
they got too radical, they got too extreme, and it turned off voters is absolutely bullshit. No, it's not. Trump has only gotten more radical since that election.
I don't know. I feel like if this shooting thing didn't happen, Trump may not have won. I feel, and like maybe this is just me, because I have people in my family who are Republicans, and like even I don't ask, I don't want to get into the conversation, but it seems like even my mother doesn't want to vote Trump anymore. She might because Biden's fucking literally like a geriatric patient, but I feel like some people are silently, like some Republicans are silently getting worked up by it and being like, oh, this is a little bit sussy baka.
And he's polling better than he was last time. You think Trump is moderated?
No.
Do you think Trump has gotten less radical?
Do you think he has less support? Extreme.
Do you think that? So that's the issue. The issue is that the Democrats have gotten more radical. This issue is
bullshit too. This idea that there's only one issue that was because of this one single thing and this one single incident. Like,
we need the Democrats to be more based. Thank you for the $2 from Karina. Missed the Papa Gut archive. Glad to watch you here. Thank you. I appreciate that. Papa Gut archive is the old Papa Gut. This is the new Papa Gut. Okay. Thank you though. I appreciate that.
COVID.
I still make money on that channel. $200 a month. Okay. Big wheeling. Incredible stuff. I'm surprised that it still makes any level of ad money. I'm actually shocked about it.
That was what cost us the election is bullshit. That contributed absolutely. But if it wasn't also for the extremism and rhetoric and the just dislikability of Trump, I don't think we would. We might have lost it. I don't have a crystal ball. I can't prove a negative. I can't go back in time, right? But when we come out to 2024 coming up, right? And so first of all, I think we just lose. I think this shooting that's ball game. I think we lose.
It's possible. I mean, some people think Trump's a badass now.
That shooter cost us the election. It's done, right? Have you seen some of these photos coming out of Trump with his fist in the fucking air?
I see the T-shirts coming out on Facebook. The VP, they love their shirts, man.
And the American flag behind him and the Secret Service around him. That's ball game. We're done. So that shooter fucked us. All
right, relax, dude.
He didn't shoot Trump.
You don't even know if it's a guy. We don't know the person's pronouns, okay? Unless they're in his bio. You can't tell us. Okay, stop being transphobic, bro.
But he shot our chances.
I'm joking. Okay, if you're too fucking stupid to realize that.
In 2024.
I already told you. I thought he should have spent more time practicing first. I don't know what you want me to say.
Well,
oh, Jesus Christ, dude.
If he had...
it's one thing to have the take. It's another thing to support. Like, I don't think it should have ever happened. A hot take. Hottest take in the world. You know what I mean? But it sounds like he's in advocation for it. I know I made a joke earlier, but no, I don't think that he should... This should obviously not have happened.
Okay. Oh my God. If he had actually killed Trump, that would have been. I don't.
Well, if he did actually do that, which would have been bad, I don't think Trump would have won the election. Okay, to be clear, but it definitely would have spurred on a bunch of conspiracy theories and things might have gotten really out of hand. We don't really know.
No, if our nation that would have been a monumental disaster. There would be sectarian violence in the streets at that point.
Oh, just like BLM. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
That would be crazy. What do you think they'd try to do? An insurrection?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Holy shit. That would be wild.
Oh, you think January 6th? This was like an insurrection. It was, but imagine that going.
I think the point Destiny's making here is these people have already Trump, not people who vote Trump, but Trump supporters, MAGA. We're gonna say MAGA enthusiasts, fucking psychopaths, people who wear the hat. they've already been going quite far as things are. So, like, how much worse could it get? I mean, maybe it's one of those things. You know, maybe Destiny's take here is like Trump getting taken out would have been like therapy. You know, you never get better when you first start going to therapy because you have to start unpacking some of the fucked up shit that happened to you. But once you unpack it all, you could start the healing process. And maybe he thought that that would have been the best way to go. I don't really know. Personally, I think, you know, maybe we didn't need to go in that direction. But, okay.
Going through the
hot
streets
take.
just in general across America. Like, imagine the 2020 riots, but it's right-wingers who actually do know how to shoot.
Yeah, and you think that all the Trumples were just going to go home if they lost the next election?
Man, I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. Maybe. It's possibly. I don't know. I don't know how riled up. I mean, again, I think Trump is like, you know, like I said, even my mother's like, this guy's going too crazy. So, like, yeah, it's possible that the Trump supporter, people who voted Trump, would have been like, like, I guess he lost. Like, it's, you know what I mean? At least some of the normal ones. It's still going to be a lot of yelling and screaming from like obnoxious assholes, but
I don't know. But
okay,
I don't
well,
think
we should just like we should keep living in the world of I don't know.
It just sounds like Destiny is in support of the assassination attempt. That's the biggest issue here. Like, you know, what the fuck?
No, like while we're sitting in the corner, you know, in our little cuck chair, watching the bull, fuck our country, okay? Fuck Lady Liberty going, I don't know if he's going to bust in her or not. I'm not sure. Well, let's just wait and find out. Well, Trump continues to turn the dial up on all of the rhetoric, while the conservatives continue to be absolutely fucking unhinged, while they continue to deny every single facet of reality, while they continue to move on a crash course in destroying this fucking country. You know, at this point, like I said, I don't really give a fuck. You have a guy running for office whose only way out of criminal indictments that were charging him with essentially insurrection was to ask the Supreme Court for absolute criminal immunity for his actions, okay? I'm beyond giving a fuck at this point, all right? It's wild. It's unhinged. I'm sorry. I don't know what you want me to say.
Stop? Do you want them to lose?
Who's they?
I want it to stop, but like the problem is we don't have like a radical 5% in this country that's like setting us over the edge of oblivion. It's like 45% or 50% of the country, my dude.
I don't. Is it really? I mean, maybe I'm naive, but is it really that much of the country, or is it it's just like the loudest people? Because I do think, like, I understand. Because here's the thing: is that there are people who are voting for Trump because they. Not because they're radical, it's because the other option is fucking like Biden. Like, I don't think Biden is doing a bad job, or maybe his wife, because I imagine his wife is actually piloting his fucking brain right now. I don't really know. You know, his policies haven't been the worst. I'm not going to sit here and get into the specifics, but I mean, people who are like voting for Trump, it's not like they're like, oh, I love Trump necessarily. I think that some of them are just like, oh, how the fuck am I going to vote for this guy who looks like he's drooling all the time? It doesn't make any goddamn sense. I mean, I'm voting Biden. Again, I don't think he did that bad. Overall, he was okay. You know, he really wasn't that bad. I know that we've had some problems, but, you know, we've also had a bunch of issues with, like, 2 wars, having to support our allies. I'm a big believer in supporting our allies, you know, so whatever. But, I mean, fuck, I understand why you wouldn't want to vote for Biden. I mean, maybe Biden can choose somebody better than Kamala Harris. Again, he did say he's going to have Trump be his vice president, so maybe that's a step up from Kamala Harris. But a lot of people feel that way. A lot of people feel like a vote for Biden is a vote for Kamala Harris because, you know, Biden might not make it this time. So I don't think all of them are just crazy extreme. I just feel like they don't feel like there's a better alternative, you know?
One of the problems here is one of the reasons that Trump was so successful and got so many involved. And one of the things that I agree with you, there's a lot on the right who have gone unhinged, is because they can point to really real things that people have said and done where they feel like they are under attack. And what we have done is we have created this cycle, this circle, where we do this reciprocal radicalization of each other, where both sides point to the extremes of the other, the crazy of the other. And I'm with you, the right is way more crazy. I don't disagree. But what's happening...
I don't think that the issue is the pointing. I think that the issue is like how we're pointing. Like I said earlier in the segment, when you have CNN going on a tear saying Russian collusion has definitely happened, breaking news every single day of the Mueller report saying that Russian collusion definitely happened, it definitely happened, it definitely happened, and then the Mueller report's finished and Russian collusion didn't happen, then it's like, oh, why would I trust this source of information? Very clear that, like, oh, look, like, they are against Trump. They're lying about this. And, like, that's feeding the conspiracy. So, like, you know, if we want to talk about acting with decorum, which is fundamentally what he's saying, you know, that you would be through the not lying part. But I don't think it's just a pointing back and forth. I mean, it just needs to be a little more intelligent and logical about it.
Is we are feeding that beast, and so when you make these tweets, and they might look. I'm not saying that what you've done is destroyed the country with a fucking tweet. No, absolutely.
Seriously, okay, listen. I understand what you're saying about mutually turning the temperature up, but Biden has been the most fucking lukewarm, milquetoast, uniting president that I could have ever fucking imagined.
Maybe we need that Gavin Newsom guy. I don't know too much about him. I don't know how well California's doing, although they seem to be doing decently well, except for all the homelessness and insane shit there. That's not great, but whatever. What are you gonna do, right? But somebody that can bite back a little bit and show a little bit of spunk. Somebody a little more charismatic, than some kind of a ancient resurrected doll with a fucking spirit inside of it.
Given the term that he came into. And the only thing that conservatives will see from Biden is a picture of him with a red background, claiming that he's screaming that all conservatives are fucking evil. That's the only impression that they have of him. Being nice and not turning up the temperature only works when the other side is perceiving that. But the right, the communicators, the pundits have all failed in their messaging because you've got the entirety of the Daily Wire, all of Fox News, all of these political pundits are on their knees slurping up every fucking ounce of semen they can suck from Donald Trump's wilted fucking cock. So even when Biden is doing things like, oh, look, well, we're being nicer, or we're trying to be bipartisan, they don't even fucking see it. So what the fuck is the point?
Because what you're doing is you're giving them ammo. It's one of the reasons
they don't need ammo, dog. They've got unlimited ammo from all their They invent ammo. They literally shit ammo.
But that
they
is
make
less
ammo
effective.
Out of fucking nothing.
Look, I agree with you that there's a group of people who are just lost. That no matter what we say or do.
I feel like if this conversation happened with me from Destiny and me, I'd be like, damn, bro, that's kind of far, don't you think? It's a little fucked up. And then he'd be like, no, I don't. I was like, all right, peace. Like, I don't. Like, yeah, this is going to be ammunition of Destiny saying, like, yeah, whatever. Destiny's basic take, from what I've seen, is that if Trump is going to act like a dictator, then he's going to get treated like one, and somebody's going to try to assassinate him. If he's going to try to use the Supreme Court that he stacked to get fucking immunity from his crimes, if he's going to try to rally up an insurrection by saying, it's time to fight now, he did back off afterwards, after he realized it was too late. But if he's going to do like all this shit, swear that the election was stolen from him, even like try to make Mike Pence overturn it, even though it's every single state that he sued, even the conservative judges were like, no, you're wrong. Like, yeah, I get it. I understand why somebody might want to shoot him. I totally agree with that. I don't think it was right still. You know what I mean? But I get that. Destiny taking a step further and seemingly advocating for it, that's probably going to give them ammunition. But, I mean, he's not fundamentally wrong. Maybe we need a Destiny to match the some of the energy of the right-wingers. I don't know. I don't know. A little too far to me, but I agree with the general message.
You agree that group of people is about 50% of the country?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's not.
What percentage do you think it is? Just curious.
30, 20, 30. It's a
Even
large
if it was
amount.
30% of the country, dog, that's over 100 million people.
That's a lot of
Hello?
people. Because
that's a lot of people.
But it's not insurmountable because we have.
Well, that is a lot of people.
Elections.
That's
in this
pretty
country.
insurmountable, my.
Yeah, but the callousness to the other victims, that the people who died, that's definitely not helping them out either. Sure,
dude. How many people do you think supported fucking Hitler? Do you think it was 30% of the fucking population? That's a huge, 5% is insurmountable almost. What do the conservatives always say? We only need 3% of the population to start a fucking revolution.
I don't give a shit what those fucking conservatives who don't know nothing say.
They don't know nothing. That means they know a lot. They know something. Double negative.
I'm telling you,
well, you
what
probably
we're
should, because they represent half of
the
the voting base in this country. It's probably pretty important to listen to them. I think they kind of dictate half of where the country heads.
What about half of where the country tails?
Jesus Christ, Destiny.
There was a father that was killed. That's terrible. Terrible stuff. Another dad finding a reason to stay out of the home. Am I right, guys? Another dad trying not to do the goddamn chores. I'm just kidding. That's terrible. This is too soon. That is terrible. That was a mean joke. I'm so sorry for that. That was a little. That was a little insensitive. I apologize for that. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Why are you so wrong on this? You're usually so fucking right, but you're so fucking wrong.
You're so wrong this time, Destiny. What the fuck?
And look, this idea, right?
Donald Trump. Hold on. Just to be clear, okay? These are inarguable facts. And if you're going to put me against any fucking conservative dipshit debater, okay, I'll debate any single fucking person on the internet who wants to, who's of reasonable size, okay? One, Donald Trump engaged in insurrection. That's undeniable. And two, Donald Trump brought a case before the conservative Supreme Court, and he was granted the criminal immunity that he needs to beat that case. That's it.
None of these make it okay to take a shot at him.
No, they destroy the country. So if we're not in America anymore, whatever post-country we're in, maybe shooting at people is on the table. I don't know.
No, it's not.
Who knows?
Damn. Wouldn't it be fucked up if I became rich finally? You know what I mean? Undeservedly so. And then the country just goes to shit. Fucking king of nothing over here. I'll be the new king of nothing.
But at this point, we are unrecognizable from anything that we were in 2016. Like, it has gotten so fucking...
Is it that bad? I just see a lot of gay pride going on in my country. I think it's incredible. I see all these cars that are like selling Trump merch, and they're selling Trump hats, and they're driving around with Trump, 2024, and won't tread on me. And that's the gayest fucking thing I've ever seen in my entire life. So I think that I see this as progress. The accepting of the gay community. I love gays. I think they're incredible. And there's nothing gayer than driving around in a truck that says "I love Trump" and wearing a Trump hat and guzzling his cum and all that jazz. That's pretty fucking gay, and I love it. I think it's incredible. I love gay people. I love the world. I love love. All right.
Worked. Okay, that the ex-president is now beating a court case because he has unlimited criminal immunity. All right, I'm good. Whatever happens, happens. If you want to be a king,
I guess I'm not too surprised, because it's like, don't presidents usually just kind of do whatever they want? You know what I mean? Maybe I'm too fucking soy on that one.
Then you'll be treated like a king. There's only one way to remove a king from power. I mean, what do you think?
Look, I reject this framing and
look at Obama versus Romney debate 2012 to see how crazy things. Yeah, that's true. That's actually a good point. Well, here's the thing. We really just got to wait Trump out. Trump's kids are dog shit ugly and completely uncharismatic and stupid. They're not going to ever win. Like the brunette one's a little bit better. Barron Trump is cool, I guess, but what's the brunette one? Donald Trump Jr., I think it is. He's kind of close to Trump, but he's like the really cringe version, of Trump. Then the blonde one, he just looks like shit. I don't even know how to explain to you. He looks like a Halloween costume. I don't really know, we just gotta wait out Trump, Barron Trump School, Eric Trump. Look at this fucking guy. I don't know. He looks like he's just still recovering from. He looks like Hunter Biden. He's recovering from a fucking coke addiction. This guy, yeah. Look at these guys. I don't know. These guys aren't a threat. Barron's cool. He's a cool looking dude. I props to him. He's a nice looking guy. He looks like he could be Richie Rich in a movie. And the women don't matter. We don't care about them. But we just gotta wait Trump out. You know what I mean?
Entirely. This
really,
idea,
what do you reject?
The first thing I reject is that we have changed fundamentally in a country that we cannot get back from.
Hey, thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs from Ghoul Gumbo. Is that how you said that? Ghoul Gumbo? Incredible stuff. I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. I really do.
Absolutely can. I think, yes, there are very...
Because and you might sit here and be like, oh, you're just being mean. You're just going after like their looks, blah, blah, blah. That's pretty much all Trump's... I mean, that's what Trump does all the time, right? So like that resonates with people. So like if we were having an intelligent conversation about policy, and if that resonated with Trump supporters and Trump voters, then we would be having that conversation. It doesn't. Okay, what resonates with them is him putting his fist up like a badass and going like, "I just got shot at. Fuck you. I'm coming for you." That resonates with them, right? So you know what I mean? Like Trump's kids are, those two. Eric, what is it, Junior and Eric Trump? They're fucking dorks. They're doofuses. They're fucking dweebs. So this message resonates with conservatives. I polled them all because they're gay. They let me fuck them in the ass. It's my poll.
Real threats and dangers to democracy.
Oh, hold on, wait. How do we go back to that? How do we get rid of the? So we're going to pass an amendment. We're going to pass an amendment that says actually the president is not above criminal prosecution when he's committing criminal acts. Are we going to pass an amendment for that?
We can. We've done it before. Not. Right?
Yeah,
what did we do before? What does that mean?
Presentism and this doomerism is something that I just reject entirely. Absolutely, we have agency, and we can absolutely go. Lex Friedman for $50. Agree with Wick, disagree with Destiny in there.
Fuck you, Lex. You're a pussy, dude. All right, I don't really fully agree with Destiny. I disagree with the advocate. I agree with everything except for his seeming advocation for Trump to get assassinated. That's the part that I have a problem with. Outside of that, whatever.
Yes. Well, thank you, Lex Friedman.
Are we getting God of War tonight? Maybe, bro. Dude, it took me like literally 3 hours to set up God of War Ascension to play this game. So maybe.
Sure. Very powerful. Yeah, this idea that we've entirely we are unable to change things. This idea that no, half the country is lost. We can't get through to them. This is the kind of rhetoric that makes it almost certain that someone's going to start taking shots. And
really,
I don't
so you
know
think? Hold on. You think that Donald Trump? You think that Donald Trump's rise to power is explainable by meanies on the left? Is that?
If Destiny was like 6'2" and he was muscular, I think that he would be a force to be reckoned with, man. And I don't mean to be that guy, but like I think conservatives would be like, yeah, this guy actually might make some sense. But unfortunately he looks like a little bit of a toadstool. I like Destiny. I think he's immature sometimes, but I enjoy him. But again, from that optics perspective, that's what he's missing. This guy needs to fucking swole up. He needs to go on to TRT, which will struggle because he already seems to have fucking anger problems. Same. But he needs to go on TRT and he needs to start fucking juicing up and he needs to start getting muscular. Okay, and he needs to look like somebody that like the left will go, oh, this guy's kind of badass. That's what he needs to do. He needs to use AI he needs to do the streams and watch him while he's working out. Have AI, read stuff to him instead of him reading himself. Okay. Yeah.
Is that what we're saying? Is that what we're going with?
Am I going to look at Destiny's tweets? Maybe. How do I, can you send them to me in the Discord?
No. But it is,
okay.
Then
Donald Trump became president in 2016, which was already insane. He had 4 years of a rule that was worse than any good faith leftist like pundit would have honestly predicted. And now that he's out of the presidency, he's engaged in tons of criminal behavior. Well, and he engaged in criminal behavior while he was the president. He's gotten immunity from that, from his Supreme Court. And now he's running again on even more divisive rhetoric, planning to do even more damage next time. This is all because people were mean to conservatives?
No.
Kind of weird that the dude got his cam on, but Destiny doesn't. It seems like Destiny is doing something else. Like it looks like because Destiny usually wouldn't do that. It seems like his mic is different. He's probably on his phone, like doing something else. Maybe he's traveling and he just doesn't feel like streaming it. I don't really know, but Destiny usually would. So I think he's just kind of like he popped in here one time. Him and Brittany Simon had a thing going on, and he popped in here and just said something in the chat, and then him and Brittany were going back and forth. It was fucking crazy. So I think sometimes he just will do that. The guy asked him to come in and chat. He's like, I saw your messages. Can we talk? And Destiny decided to talk to him. So yeah, he's traveling again. I think that's what, and I don't think that Destiny feels like this conversation warrants like him streaming or recording it and posting it. Maybe he is, but I don't really know. But I think that's really what it is. I don't think it's like weird necessarily. It seems pretty in line with Destiny.
Would they mean the conservatives when they?
Oh, Jito Dog posted. Oh, we'll look at them after the segment.
Would they mean the conservatives when they make jokes about Paul Pelosi getting beat with a hammer?
Oh my God.
Would they mean to conservatives when?
Did they really do that? I haven't paid enough attention to politics. I mean, if Trump was making fun of Pelosi getting beaten with a hammer, then he deserves to be made fun of for getting shot at.
When they talked about Hillary's emails and fucking Benghazi investigations year after year, were they mean when they denied
lost in
any type of foreign intrusion into our entire fucking media apparatus? Were they like? I mean, which part were they mean on? Like, here's the thing. Here's what I don't understand. Can you tell me this? Okay? Can you hear? You know what? I'll shut it all down.
Oh, he's debating Michael Knowles. Okay, that'll be interesting.
I will shut it all down. This is what I challenge you to do tonight, and I'll walk back what I'm saying. I want you to find me 3 links of a mainstream, and they give the alternative to mainstream Republican commentator going, hey guys, maybe we're taking things a little bit too far, and the liberals have a point. Is what?
Joe Walsh mainstream.
I don't know who these people are.
Joe Walsh isn't even like a conservative anymore.
No, he is. He's a never Trumper, but he is a Republican.
The never Trumpers are out politically. The never Trumpers don't survive.
Well, I imagine if you say that Trump's taking things too far, you probably end up turning into a never Trumper. So
The Republican Party
and they're still
anymore.
Conservative. That's one.
Yeah,
and I didn't even have to Google that. That's
now.
one. You're already wrong.
He's an ex.
Right?
No,
You're already wrong. That's one.
I'm sorry. Do you want to support? Do you want to quote the 2 conservatives that were on the 9/11 Commission too? If you really want the big O.
Joe Walsh isn't like someone who's like no one, right? He's got 500K followers. I think more than you on Twitter, right? So he's not no one, right? So again, that's one. And
Damn.
Guarantee you, if I start Googling and I start searching, I could probably find 2 more.
And
so yes, I will take you up on that.
Somebody who hasn't removed themselves from the Republican Party. Find someone who hasn't removed themselves from the conservative movement, and I'll take you seriously. Because never Trumpers who are no longer going to be politically relevant in the political party.
I don't think, right? Because you know you're wrong, so you're like, well, okay, now I have to throw out more.
He does seem to be shifting the goalpost a little bit here, guys. Okay.
Or
show me a Republican. No, wait, show me a Republican that supports Trump saying he's going too far. It's like it's going to be a hard one to find.
Variables. So
but I guess that maybe is his point. So
we, I'm correct, right? Instead of just going with your initial statement. Come on, man, you're better.
I'm sorry. Hold on. Is Walsh in office right now?
No.
Oh, crazy.
So they have.
Okay, that's a good point. If he's not in office,
so the elected officials. The elected official.
Who is this guy? Who's this guy? Wick versus Destiny attempted Trump assassination. Wow.
Not influencers.
No, it's not that he has to be an elected official. It's that the only reason you know about him is because he was an elected official. Why isn't he an elected official anymore in the Conservative Party that I'm criticizing for becoming a fucking fascist? It's because he criticized the fascists. This is the guy that you want to cite as though you've made some kind of prescient point that, like, well, actually, no, there are some conservatives that have been cast outside of the party who are called rhinos, Republicans in names only. They criticized Donald Trump. Good one.
Okay. It seems like Destiny's point is who is an active conservative with any level of, power that criticizes Trump. I think the point he's making is that it seems to be a very strong unit of Trump support. Like I said, there just needs to be a better alternative to fucking Biden. Even if you like Biden's policies, he's brain dead. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, you need something a little more than that. So,
$100 from Lawson Harrison. Wick,
oh
I think you're correct, but only in a more ideal situation. It's difficult to expect a sane society with half an insane population. This, again, I will find you, those conservatives. I will make but this is my fear here, Destiny, is you're just going to give me more variables why they don't actually count. And I don't know
I want people that are relevant, conservative commentators who have some point over the past few years have been like, guys, maybe we're being a little bit too on the extreme side. Not ex-lawmakers who are no longer a part of the Republican Party, but somebody from Fox News, somebody from the Daily Wire, mainstream political commentators are like, you know what, guys, maybe we need to pump the brakes a little bit.
Okay.
I will get to Googling. I will find out. But again, this idea, and I'll leave you with this, right? This idea that there is nothing we can do. Shooting should be on the table. That I don't care anymore. They've done the bad thing, so now we should be able to also do the bad thing. I do think that is the reason the Republicans lost, because they're doing the bad thing, right? Because they're unhinged, because they have crazy rhetoric, because they do all this shit. I think that's why they lost in 2018. I think that's one of the reasons they lost in 2020. And I think that's one of the major reasons they lost in 2022. Obviously, it's not the only reason. Obviously, there were other factors in play, but I think that was a contributor to it. So what I fear, what I worry about is that we will take that off the table as a way for voters to differentiate between the two parties, between the two groups. And I don't want people to be able to fucking post a clip of you saying, oh, maybe shooting should be on the table, and say, well, look, see.
This is a fair point.
The left's no different than the right here, and they're both extremist weirdos. I want to make sure that that's hard.
That's a reasonable point. Like I said, that's the problem with Destiny's take. It's not that, hey, I can see why somebody would want to take a shot at Trump. It's it sounds like he's saying, I think it was a good thing, right? That's where you have the problem.
Difficult for them to do as possible. So when they do find those extreme weirdos out there, like fucking Hassan and all these fucking weirdos that they're making similar takes, you're echoing a lot of Hassan's points right now, which is weird.
I guess that means that he's right, right? Because Hassan's always right, baby.
I don't want them to have an easy time with it, and I want us to be able to brush that off. That's all I want.
That's cool, but that's great. That's fine. When the history books are written about the United States of America, one of the things that people will have to realize is democracy only works when everybody participates. If half the people don't want to row the boat, you can tell your people to row as hard as you want, but you're not going to fucking go anywhere. And chastising them for giving up on rowing isn't going to make the boat move any faster. You have to have your population bought in.
Is he talking about chapel rowing?
Two concepts of democracy. And when they
HOTT, hot to go. Okay.
aren't, then the country fails. Doesn't matter what your rhetoric is. Doesn't matter what the fuck you say. No amount of liberals being nice is going to fundamentally alter any Trump position about the positions of Donald Trump, the principles that he has, or lack thereof, and the way that he runs the country. And I hope that people start realizing that. Maybe conservatives will at some point abandon Trump, but probably not, because he can basically do fucking anything, because he is now our king, immune from criminal prosecution. God bless. But yeah, when you anoint a king, again, the only way to take a king out is what? I mean, how are kings traditionally removed from power? What do you expect to happen?
Damn.
Well, thanks for coming on. I still think you're wrong. I will Google those names and find you. Destiny, always a pleasure.
Love you, babe.
Bye.
All right. Well, I don't think he actually loved him, but
Ugh. Gross.
So
It's gross. Gross.
in fairness, you vote Biden administration to the president. Oh, like if you vote for Biden, you're voting for his administration, not him. Yeah, no, I agree with that. If that's what you meant.
Quick, why can't you hear me? Am I not here?
Gross! I actually just cummed. All right, let me see. Somebody posted a bunch of shit in the Discord about this. Is it in the... Where is it exactly? The shorts or probably in the general chat? Oh my goodness. Are these them? How do you... dude, see, this is the problem, is you show me... how do I look at this stuff? I'm not gay. I'm just kidding. I am. I have to stop using that as a pejorative. Oh, okay. Hold on a second. You guys sent me a lot of stuff here. Okay. So here we go. The first one. Incredible. This is the first tweet. Definitely a little risque. So this guy says, keep seething. Trump is going to be your president in November, and you know it. We need a radical transformation in this country to the right. We will start. Well, I don't know what radical transformation we need. But okay. It's a win-win for me. I either get the candidate I ideologically align with, or Trump gets elected, and I get more tax cuts on my 7-figure income. Brokey trailer trash silly gooses. Like you celebrate in the streets and die of diabetes. Kind of based. That one's funny. I'm honestly conflicted on how I feel about the shooting, but we'll chat and stream about it. This one doesn't seem particularly antagonistic. This guy says, this is definitely the worst tweet about today's events that I've seen so far. You don't just say, I honestly conflicted on your feelings about the shooting. All right. I mean, I don't think it's that bad. Let me clarify when I say conflicted. What I mean is that I lean towards seeing it as a natural extension of the thing Trump and the MAGA kids support. So I don't think I have much sympathy about the attempt enough to chastise people. I mean, if you are justifying a fucking insurrection... I guess that is the same energy as political assassination of an opponent. And I guess the whole hammer, like beating, joking about Pelosi's husband getting beaten with a hammer. I mean, okay. Conflicted, so you endorse violence? Oh, I'm sorry. What happened in 1776? Was that a peaceful protest? Oh my God. If we learn anything today, I hope it's realizing the importance of principles. I stressed many times on stream before, having a firearm, it means absolutely nothing if you don't spend the time at the range practicing. Oh my God. It's getting, they're fucking ramping up. I will say I was worried for a minute about what would happen to Biden if he ordered this, but then I remember, thank God, conservatives all agree the president has absolute criminal immunity and acting as his role as commander-in-chief. Oh my God. Oh, this is not okay. Call me soy all you like. Oh, this is the Wick guy, but this isn't the time nor the place. LOL, I'm sorry, but soy raging out over this when conservatives have been unhinged for the past 8 years is beyond fucking stupid. I'm way the fuck over. Remember all the conservative dipshits talking about principles today who have joked about Pelosi's husband getting beaten or celebrated all kinds of violence against minorities or progressives or other people they consider undesirable. I'm way the fuck over at this point. They reap what they sow, and I'm here to watch the harvest. I think I might be getting... It's becoming a little more based as I read it. This is not good. This is a little too based. At least you're too fat to miss, you subhuman hypocritical piece of shit. I love how much of the piece of garbage you can be. There's literally nothing to be conflicted about. I mean, quartering is not too great. I know that this isn't as bad as trying to shoot somebody, but quartering's running defense for Doc, who fucking, tried to message a fucking kid, or was messaging a kid inappropriate messages. So quartering's kind of a dumb, stupid fuck. When you see Nancy Pelosi trending, it's not that she's dead. Goddamn it. I mean, if you're making jokes about killing Nancy Pelosi, I think it's okay to make jokes about killing Trump, right? I mean, fuck. I don't know what to tell you. Maybe we kind of need destiny on this one. Maybe we just need to start matching the energy of these conservatives. Although maybe that'll rile things up and make it worse. I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand what big deal about Paul Pelosi is. Dude just wanted to get down with some kinky gay sex. I thought Democrats were tolerant. The other guy had to hit him in the head with a hammer and cover for it. I accept you and your consensual gay sex, Rand Paul. I don't know what that means. I'm honestly conflicted. Okay, so I think those are those tweets. Is this a different one? No, TDS is when you celebrate a random person being murdered in the process of an attempted assassination of a political candidate. What are you talking about? You valueless, soulless fucking banshee. The right has been walking this fucking country off a cliff for years. While Trump was trying to dismantle the country, you fucking silly gooses cried about trans people and woke schools. That's true. Please get drafted. Okay. Yeah, we already read that one. I interviewed you because I thought you were a representative of the youthful progressive left. Everyone reading your tweets from today can draw your own. I mean, he kind of is a representative of the youthful left a little bit here. I mean, I don't know. You know, the youth are a little, you know, they're a little crazy sometimes. You have ran around bad-mouthing me on every show you've been on since our conversation. Well, you're part of the problem more than most people. You're a disgrace to your profession to mankind. Kind of agree with that. Jordan Peterson's kind of a pussy. That conversation was fine, and Jordan Peterson had a fucking meltdown about it because he got pressed. Hassan, I think it's awesome that Republicans who regularly talk about pulling entire segments of the population into concentration camps are doing words of our violence rhetoric at the Democrats for saying stuff like orange, mango, Hitler. You're right. Nobody should have said the Muslim ban / Mexicans are rapist guy is a fascist, even though he's saying immigrants are poisoning the blood of the nation because someone might try to shoot him later. Oh my god. Oh, this shit's getting fucking crazy, dude. Is this the imagine that Destiny looked like Hassan, like take the intelligence of Destiny with the actual attractiveness of Hassan and merge them. Instead, they're both like fucking, you know, it's both like a fucking, what is it, like brothers situation. One's Arnold Schwarzenegger, the other one's Danny DeVito. Okay. All I see is Biden +1 in Pennsylvania. You disgusting bitch. I cannot believe that. Well, that's fucked up. Get that out of the screen. Don't send that to me. That's fucked up. That one's too much. I've always thought you were a reasonable counter voice against conservative narratives, even when I don't agree with your points you're making. After today, I see you're actually an unreasonable extremist who will celebrate death as long as it's blah, blah, blah. I don't know the rest of it. But I want to profusely apologize to any Trump supporters in my audience that I've misled into thinking I view them as anything beyond the unpatriotic, treacherous, anti-American scum that they are, doing my best to rectify this ASAP. A little based. Again, if you voted Trump because you think that Biden's not great, understandable. But the reality is that like a lot of fucking like Trump, like MAGA hat wearers, they're fucking guzzling Russian cum. You got Tucker Carlson going to Russia talking about how great it is over there and how bad America is, when over there you cannot be you don't have basic freedoms. You can't even vote, honestly, for somebody. So, yeah, okay. This was your soul on TDS, looks like. I don't know what TDS is. Okay, this guy is now as toxic as Nick Fuentes. Hopefully we will not see him on any respectable podcasts. You won't see him on mine. I don't know who this guy is. We'll probably see him on Piers Morgan, to be honest with you. A person in a crowd cheering for and supporting a traitor to this country called a stray. I'm so sad. Damn. That's something. That's fucking brutal, brother. I don't think that's a little over the line. Keep seething Trump is going to be your president. All right, we already read that one like a million times. All right, damn, we got more fucking tweets on the live here. Putin 100%. Oh, what is this? Room is completely engulfed in flames. You can only save one. I mean, I'd save AOC because she's got nice titties. You know, Biden's going to die anyway. Hillary, very unlikable. Putin's a literal fucking antithesis of the country. But, you know, AOC, she's actually calmed down in her rhetoric a little bit, and she's been falling off. And you know what happens to popular women that fall off, dude? Some of them make a fansly. Some of them make an OnlyFans. It's incredible stuff. Okay. This is the fucking silly goose that got killed at the Trump rally. Oh, this is the guy that got killed. Oh, my God. Jesus Christ! This is the guy that got killed at the rally making this post. Oh my god, dude. Bro. Damn. This is fucking crazy. This shit's wild. He was full MAGA. Listen, brother, I don't think anybody deserves to die like that. You know, he's clearly... Listen, I do a lot of advocacy on this platform for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. If you are a MAGA hat wearing Trump supporter, okay? Not just somebody who votes Trump, I understand. If you're a MAGA hat wearing Trump supporter, you have a traumatic brain injury or some kind of deep intellectual or developmental disability. And so I support you as a person. I love you as a person. I value you as a person. And I believe in expanding welfare programs and services for you to get the mental health that, access that you need so you can learn to wipe your ass. So I don't think it's funny to joke about somebody like this dying. Okay? It's a terrible thing. It's terrible stuff. Jesus Christ. Hey, what's going on, Willie Mac? How you doing, brother? Yeah, he's definitely relentless. There's a man with a TikTok. What does that mean? What does a man with a TikTok mean? What's the insult? What is the insult with me having a TikTok? Thank you for reminding me. I gotta post an Instagram because you can't schedule them without them. If you schedule an Instagram posts, they don't let you. They don't automatically access fucking Facebook if they blow up. So it's ridiculous. All right, let's see what else we got. Oh my God, we're live. Is this the one that I saw? Is this the one we just saw? Oh yeah, it is. Okay, let's see what the next one is. I'm sure Corey and Babbitt are both fun. I don't know who these people are. Go outside, take the walk. Don't bring your phone. Unlike Corey, you won't be missed. Who the fuck is Corey? Oh, Corey. What? Oh, I love you. My wife's standing there like a fucking demon. Scare the fuck out of me. All right, let's see what we got here. I'm sure Corey and Babbitt are both having fun with each other in hell. Oh my God, dude. This guy's going, it's too much. It's too far. I feel like you're losing people with making fun of the, you're losing people with making fun of the fucking dead guy. It's terrible. Thank you for the $2 from cable. You fell off. Hey, I'm still here, baby. I'm still here, baby. It's incredible stuff. It's incredible stuff. Okay. What else do we got, dude? This is fucking wild. This guy's going crazy. This is the hill you want to die on? Don't you mean the bleachers? Oh, dude, come on. Oh, my God. Oh, Babbitt got killed during January 6th. Well, I mean, anybody that died during January 6th that was, like, not the police deserved to die, right? Like, I mean, you're going to fucking storm the Capitol, you get shot. That's your fault. I don't care that you got shot. But this guy is different. He's supporting the person he wanted to be president. Okay? He's expressing his rights. And he just gets shot. He takes a stray. Okay, it's terrible stuff. This guy doesn't deserve to die. The other guy probably deserved to die because she fucking, I don't remember. Is this a girl, right? You fucking break into the, sorry, idiot. I don't care about her, but this guy doesn't deserve it. Okay. Enough of this. Is fucking, wait, hold on. This is fucking crazy. This guy's wild. Oh my God. The DEI plan. What is DEI? Who's worse? KLP or... Oh, that's like... DEI is like the forced diversity stuff, right? All right, well, I don't care about that. I mean, like, he's just a fucking... He just seems like he's brain rotted, you know? Damn. Americans had enough of Mike Pence on January 6th, 2020. Damn, he's just retweeting everything. This is in support of... Trump being mad at Pence for not allowing him to, overthrow the government. Jesus, fuck. All right, the bleachers saying, we already read that one. Oh my God, dude, this is fucking crazy. He's going after the guy that got shot. Why? This is not a good look. Why is he doing this? It's fucked up. I'm fucking laughing. I hate that I'm laughing at this. This is terrible. I can see. Oh my God! I can see why it beats watching your wife get railed by another man for the 7,000th time. I'd rather watch my wife get railed 100 or 10,000 times over than betray family in Ukraine by throwing them under the bus to win an internet debate. You coward, spineless fuck. Next time you moderate a debate, brush your teeth first, so we won't have to smell Putin's load on you. Oh my God! I don't even know what's happening. That's some. I think I know what the conversation they're talking about. Oh my God. Destiny's office Adderall. Beat him to the ballot box. Beating conservatives at the ballot box is easy. Remember, Hillary Clinton destroyed Trump. You have to win the Electoral College. That's the thing that Trump tried to rig last election. Oh, Jesus Christ. Remember, when you make a man your king, you're telling society that there's only one way to hold him accountable. Conservatives have no one to blame but themselves for that. Can he be impeached and convicted in the Senate? No, he's out of office. Can his criminal friends be held accountable? No, he pardoned every single one of them. Can he be kicked off the ballot for violating constitutional requirements for being president? No, the Supreme Court decided they didn't like that rule anymore. Can he be criminally charged? No, he has absolute immunity. What do you expect? Wow. Thank you for the 10 pounds from Sophie S. Great content, Pop. I appreciate relatively sensible American view as a Brit. I appreciate that. I'm going to sneeze in a second. It's incredible stuff. All right, listen. I think that is enough of I think that's enough for reading through this, but I want to just give my ending comments here. Like I said, I can agree that the way that Trump is acting puts him in a position to be assassinated. Right? It's never a good thing. Political violence is never okay, but when you do shit like this, you rile up an insurrection on January 6th, you like refuse to leave office when you take the L. Your own conservative judges are telling you that there was no voter fraud that had any impact on the election. You're yelling at your own vice president to help you overthrow the government, and he refuses to do so, so you disavow him. You know? You're telling people, now's the time to fight when you lose, starting up January 6th until you're like, oh, wait, actually, be nice. Right? But the damage is done. When you're doing all that, I understand why somebody might want to take you out. Right? Kind of natural consequences. That being said, Destiny, it doesn't seem like he's just saying, hey, this is natural consequences. It sounds like he's justifying it, which is over the line for me. And now he's effectively bullying a guy that took a stray bullet. Yeah, he's a big Trump supporter. Like, he's probably, like, again, he's not just somebody who voted Trump. He's a fucking Trump supporter. So he's a loser and an idiot that wears a MAGA hat. And that's very gay. Just letting you know. The gayer than literally guzzling cum. But they also do that too. But that's inappropriate. I think that's over the line. The guy just died. You know what I mean? So that's where you lose it a little bit. But yeah, man, I don't know. With how crazy conservatives are being, maybe we need a little crazy, maybe a little crazy Destiny. I don't know. I don't really know. Maybe it is his destiny. But can we look at his live for a bit? I mean, we could take a look for a second. I don't really know how much more there is to this. Let's take a little bit of a look at Destiny's live, just a little bit. I kind of am curious about what he's saying. All right.
Coherent argument about Twitter space. Really not much for me to say. We might talk about this a little bit more later. I don't know how much we'll talk about it at all. There's really not much for me to say. I'm tired of getting gaslit for years.
Oh shit.
That I have to pretend that both sides of the political aisle right now are making coherent arguments, or that they have the same moral authority to lead.
Well, he hasn't been doing that, though. I've seen him for years going on about how fucking dumb and crazy people on the right are. Like, I specifically remember, I think even doing, like, like for years. Yeah, for years, literally. Like, I feel like for like 3 or 4 years. So I don't think he's ever been doing that in general, pretending that both sides are on the same, like, fucking intellectual space.
The fact that, like, when I have to describe events to people in real life to make my case, I feel crazy because of how much conservatives have dictated all of the media cycles. I wrote shit down. It doesn't even matter. There's no point even going over it. I don't even care. Well, I do, but they don't. The people that support Donald Trump in this country have lost every conceivable tie that they have to calling themselves moral American citizens that would support this country. The road that the Republicans have taken us.
Well, I mean, I feel like if your argument is that the right-wing media has had a pretty big impact on what's happening and they're rewriting history, my argument would be that, yeah, like they are the morally bankrupt ones. The people supporting Trump are listening to those pundits that are extraordinarily dishonest and calculating the fact that, like, leftist pundits are also dishonest, not to the same degree, but dishonest enough for other people with a confirmation bias that are already Republican go like, see, look, the CNN is lying about Russian collusion, shit like that. That's what's kind of reinforcing this, no? Right? So, you know, it's really they're victims of their own stupidity.
Us down, and their support for an insurrectionist president leaves me with absolutely zero pity for anything that happens at any fucking event. The strongest form of an argument that I would even consider entertaining is maybe you shouldn't laugh at them if something happens, and you'd have to argue hard for that. But to express sympathy, you're way, way, way the fuck beyond that. I think that people think that politics is either a way to generate ad revenue or a way to have fun online. And if that's the case, then have fun and knock yourself out. But it's not a fucking game. And what we're supposed to have endured over the past 8 years when half of this country is rotted to the core is insane. So, no, I think that if you're a Trumple and you're asking for sympathy when something goes awry at one of your events, and you've been supporting a guy who is...
Why is Richard Simmons on the stream?
Avowedly anti-democratic and who tried to insurrect the government, who has managed through party, legal, and extra-legal means to avoid culpability or responsibility at every single step of the way, that the party of rule and law is the one who wouldn't convict in the Senate because they said he wasn't a sitting president anymore, the guy who pardoned every single friend and ex-campaign member that he had, who the Supreme Court decided that they didn't actually like the 14th Amendment anymore, so they were going to toss that because it wasn't fair to Trump. The guy who is probably going to have all 4 of his cases tossed.
What the hell is the 14th Amendment? What is the 14th? Is that the one that gives women voting rights? That's fine that they got rid of that one. I'm kidding. Oh, okay. It's like everybody born in the United States is subject to law. Okay.
Lost because of the Supreme Court ruling deciding that the president actually is immune from criminal probes. Nah, miss me with that shit, fam. And miss Trump, you know. Less swing voters that way, I guess. I'm so far over dealing with the Trumples, who are the worst I think that America has to offer, trying to tone police or trying to beg for sympathy. Nah, fuck it, fuck the dude, the firefighter guy, fuck Trump, fuck the people that support him. I just want you to know, okay, just in case you're confused or it seems like I'm, whatever. If one of you were in the crowd and you're a conservative fan of mine and you end up, getting blown away, whatever the fuck, I'm making fun of you the next day on Twitter. I am.
Oh my god, dude.
100%. And if you tweet any shit about Putin or whatever, I'm gonna throw it up on the retweet. I'm gonna put you right on the picture next to Babbitt and Corey, and we're all gonna fucking make fun of you. And that's what should happen. Because fuck you, okay? Sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, fuck you. Okay, that's all I want to say.
This probably isn't gonna make a Trump supporter want to engage with Destiny, right? Like that's the thing. Again, he's going too far. His whole justifier for talking to Nick Fuentes. There was a lot of people that were like, I don't like you talking to Nick Fuentes because all you're doing is you're still giving him a platform to speak, and some of your fans might actually cross over onto him. And Destiny's take was like, no, I'm going to do it because what if I can pull people over from Nick Fuentes? And I agree with that, especially since Destiny's like Nick Fuentes' handler. Like he is a direct support professional to Nick Fuentes. He embarrasses him every time that they talk. It's funny. I always enjoy it. It's great. But this kind of goes against that, right? Because now you're actively disavowing people, and I get it. People who are MAGA hat wearers are fucking stupid, and I get it. But isn't the goal to try to ideologically pull them onto your side? Like you said, politics isn't a game. Make the I understand the justifier of somebody like, hey, if Trump's going to act this way, someone's going to try to take him out. That makes sense. Overly justifying it happening, I don't think makes sense, and then completely disavowing anybody who, aligns with Trump, especially acknowledging that it's the political pundits that are the ones that are running reframing on the situation. So they're not even, the conservatives aren't even getting the correct education about what Trump is doing. Part of the problem is like left-wing media too, with the way that they can be dishonest, not to the same degree, but sometimes. That's not good because it's going to people aren't going to want to gravitate towards Destiny that might be radicalized fucking, right wingers. You can't, they're too far gone. You never know, man. You never know.
We might go over it more later, but.
Okay. I think that's pretty much it. I mean. Oops, wrong button. How come the quality's so low on the stream? Is it me?
Comes of that is that's your consequences. Again, it's not a fucking joke. My mom is an immigrant to the United States, then whatever comes of the question because they have the same attitude. How about your parents? They get their brains blown out at a rally, which have the same attitude. They're democracy-hating insurrectionists after all. One, you're permaban for asking a stupid question because the obvious answer two is, listen, they're adults. They make their own fucking decisions. If you want to support an insurrectionist president, then whatever comes of that is that's your consequences. Again, it's not a fucking joke. My mom is an immigrant to the United States of America. She was 5 years old. Her parents worked really hard to get her here. She served for 20 years in the Air Force, along with my dad. They know exactly what they're doing. They should know exactly what they're supporting. It was my mom that, ranted at me for over a decade about how evil the USSR and Putin and all the Chi-Coms and all that shit. So whatever, they go to a rally and they whatever the fuck, it's less end-of-life caution.
A legit Hassan moment for Destiny? I don't think it's a Hassan moment. I mean, Destiny... Even where he's fucking up, I mean, at least he's rationally justifying what he's saying. You got to give him that,
For me, it's on them. That's their decision.
Oh, they're talking to somebody in the Twitter space right now?
Capital, and there are videos that will pop up. The first one says, okay, let's assume that duly elected, appointed representative. First one.
What is the evidence for that, though?
It's laid out in the ending.
Oh my God. We got to watch more?
7 different sets of people.
I haven't seen him. I don't,
Support.
Maybe he'll dance circles around me. Huge event.
This is going to be how every single.
Can you hear me now? Because you just have. Okay, we can wait for a minute until he connects.
Is this the Twitter
and when
space?
he is connected, he can unmute himself and speak. Can everyone by show of hands?
The debate should go. If you debate a conservative, this is how every single one should go until the election.
Okay.
This is going to be a walkthrough. Okay.
So I just wanted to create this space because there was obviously a huge event happening yesterday, and as maybe some people saw, there's a lot of arguing going on about Trump and who he is and all that stuff. So I just wanted to chat with Destiny, hopefully respectfully, and just
I don't think I'm going to watch all this, but I'm curious.
Hear his thoughts about why he says the things that he does about Trump, and maybe share some of my own thoughts. Maybe he'll dance circles around me, maybe not, because he's a very skilled debater. I'm not a live streamer. He does this for a living. This is just
to be clear, that's her setting it up that like if she gets washed in this conversation, it's not her fault because she's not good at debating. And there can be a level of truth to that. I'm just saying that's a
hobby of mine. So thanks, Destiny, for coming on and chatting. And
thanks for coming, Destiny. Maybe you can make me do that later too.
Yeah, where did you want to start?
Yeah, I guess
by watching me fuck. So I'm just kidding.
Wait, so what is your current political affiliation? or like who do you like support or whatever? Like,
I'm in Canada. I'm actually in Canada. I don't know if you know that about me. I'm in Canada and I'm conservative.
In Canada, and you're a conservative. Okay, so I can assume that you support Donald Trump or whatever?
Yeah, I think he did a good job when he was president.
I don't think so.
I don't think he, he's the monster that people make him out to be. Or
well, and maybe somebody in chat could say this. What the fuck is happening? Select the fucking night. Okay, sorry. How did he do well in office? I just wonder what people think. Like, what is it? It was the tax cuts, like that stimulated the economy in a way that was like generally unnecessary. That inflated our annual federal deficit by almost $400 billion pre-COVID. I mean, like, I understand people want more money in their pockets. Was it the tax cuts that were permanent for the upper class and temporary for the middle class? Like, was it the fact that he was told by every economist he'd have to hit like 6.7% GDP in order to say like every quarter in order to actually pay for the tax cuts, and he would get anywhere close to that, and he never was going to? What is it that he did well? Like, his rallying achievement was a good economy because he made a bunch of tax cuts that weren't sustainable. It would be like if you went to the fucking bank and took out a $10,000 loan and said you just made $10,000. So, like, what did he do that was so good? I mean, he declared Jerusalem the capital of Israel, which riled tensions in the Middle East. He guzzled Putin's cum. Like, I'm not understanding what is it that he did. He tried to get Kim Jong-un to play ball, and it didn't work in any capacity. Like, what is it that he did that makes him such a good president? Like, he didn't do anything. I get why people voted for him, because he was like, hey, I'm going to try to bring back jobs, and I get that, and it's cool that he did, but there was no permanence to it. He pulled us out of, environmental control deals like Paris Climate Accord, which we need to worry about the environment. We have to do it productively, and we can't like sacrifice the health of our economy and whatnot, but we weren't. Like, I'm not understanding what is it that he did that was so great.
Like the criminal that people make him out to be. I think, as brash as he is and some of the things that he says in a bombastic Trump way, I don't think he's as bad as the media tries really, really hard to portray him.
Okay. Do you acknowledge that he led an insurrection against the U.S. government and he tried to steal power?
I don't think he did that. I don't see evidence of him saying he incited an insurrection. I think
he was telling people to fight now. What are you talking about?
Watched him call for peace on video. I saw the tweet that he put out,
like after everything was going crazy,
saying we want peace. We're the party of law and order. Like, I don't think that you can ascribe insurrection to those words.
Are you aware that Donald Trump organized 7 different sets of people to fake an elector vote in 7 different states in the United States with the goal of sending those elector votes to Congress and then begging and then pressuring Mike Pence, first with words and then with violence that he directed on the 6th, in order for him to unilaterally toss the election by either selecting those electorate votes, the fake ones that he submitted, or by having the House choose Donald Trump to be the president against the will of the American people? Are you aware of any of that?
I was not aware of that. I wasn't aware that he tried to get fake votes. What the fuck?
I haven't seen him using any kind of threats of violence against Mike Pence.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. Excuse me. I didn't say anything about a threat of violence. I don't know who you're talking to or what you're responding to. I just asked you very specifically for the thing.
I thought he did say that there was a threat of violence.
That I just laid out. Are you aware of any of that? Do you know any of that?
Oh, he's trying to get her to just say, like, hey, do you know about this?
I believe you said something about violence.
Okay, let me restate, okay?
Okay.
Donald Trump organized 7 different sets of people, okay, in 7 different states to send in fake votes, okay, to Congress, essentially, in order to pressure Mike Pence, okay? First it was words.
Pressure Mike Pence, okay.
Well, first it was with words. He begged him to do it behind the scenes multiple times, and Pence said no, because he's not a traitor to the fucking country. And then the second time is he called his crowd of people that he gathered on the 6th and then sent them to the Capitol grounds to protest with the goal of getting Pence to choose the fake electorate votes that he sent in to Congress. Are you aware of any of that?
What is the evidence for that, though?
It's laid out in the indictments, and nobody denies any of it. If you want, you can go to YouTube, and if you want, I'll wait 5 minutes right now for you. You can go on YouTube, and you could go, false electorates try to enter Capitol. And there are videos that will pop up. The first one says, Republicans try to deliver their own electoral votes to Michigan Capitol. There are people that are being charged in multiple states right now for perjuring themselves, saying that they were the duly elected, appointed representatives of their state to cast their electorate vote. Nobody denies this. Nobody denies this. Okay? So
damn, that's fucking crazy. I didn't know about that.
You're not aware of any of this.
I haven't heard of that story, no.
That's another way of saying you're not aware of any of this. So, okay, so step 1, okay, let's assume that what I just said is true because nobody's denying it. And Trump's defense against this is to ask for criminal immunity. You're aware of that, right? That Donald Trump's way of defending himself was to go before the Supreme Court and say,
okay, so if his way of defending himself is to give me criminal immunity and not saying I didn't do it, that would be a problem. The counter argument from conservatives are going to be like, well, the matrix is against him, right? So he has to ask for immunity because, like, the Democrats are so gung-ho on getting him out, right? That's going to be the counter argument there.
I need to be immune from criminal prosecution. Are you aware of that?
Well, I wasn't following it that closely, so no.
Okay, well, are you aware that Donald Trump, his attorney went before the Supreme Court and was granted criminal immunity for the first time in all of U.S. history for an ex-president, that now the office of the presidency enjoys absolute criminal immunity and presumptive criminal immunity for basically every action a president can take? Are you aware of that?
No, I'm not aware of that.
Okay, how many videos have you seen of Joe Biden stumbling down some stairs or having slurs or forgetting words in his speech?
Well, they are floating around. I've seen some of those.
Yep.
Oh, dude, he's fucking walking circles around her.
Do you understand that? Do you understand that this is a problem? That you have absolutely no fucking idea what's going on in my country, what's going on in my. Let me finish, please. And you can go talk as long as you want. Sure. You don't know what's happened in my country. You don't know what's happened with my government. You don't know any of the things that Donald Trump has been involved in. But I bet if I go through your Twitter, I can find 50 million videos of Joe Biden with his stupid fucking open mouth or slurring some word. Do you think that's an issue?
Well, I think the president being fit is an issue. Yeah.
Well, I mean, no, that's not. Like, yes, I think that it's an issue. What's being established here is that you are more interested in speaking lowly of a president with Biden from not being able to function correctly, which is a fair criticism, but you don't care at all about the person who's quite literally breaking the law regularly and consistently to try to maintain his illegitimate presidency. His first presidency was legitimate, but he's trying to make it illegitimate. You know what I mean? Okay, but you get my point? So, like, that's the problem, is that the information that's getting fed to you is, oh, Biden can't feed himself, when it's like Trump is breaking the law constantly. Okay.
For sure.
What about being an insurrectionist?
I don't believe he's an insurrectionist.
Oh, what did I just lay out then that either doesn't qualify for insurrection or isn't true from what I just said? Or if you want, you can admit that you have no idea what I'm talking about and you need to go back to the drawing board before even beginning to have an opinion on this topic.
Well, I can have an opinion because free speech exists, so I can say what I want to say.
First of all,
you can have an opinion, but like you seem to be very wrong. I mean, unless Destiny's wrong, we should prove him wrong. But
number one, no, you're a Canadian. You have no guarantee of free speech. Number two, that's obviously not what I meant. You obviously are entitled to an opinion. I'm saying that it was a shorthand for to have a well-formed opinion that merits consideration. Right? You're not even aware of any of the major events happening in this country. I don't know how you can have a strong opinion on whether or not Donald Trump is an insurrectionist or not.
Well, I see what the media says about the current events, and I see the media pushing and saying things like, to serve his country, President Biden should drone strike Donald Trump. And to me, that seems like...
Well, I don't think that... Did Biden say he wanted to do that? Because if he didn't, I don't think it matters what some idiots are saying.
Not very...
That probably aren't even mainstream media.
Appropriate thing to say for as an advice for the current sitting president, and that doesn't seem like a strong uphold of democracy or decency, as they would say, because they said decency was on the ballot.
If Rachel Maddow told you that walking on sidewalks was dangerous, would you walk in the street?
No.
Then why are you citing me something that the media said and then giving me your 4-year... You have children? Do you react to everything like a child? If the media says something you don't like it, do you just take the opposite position without giving a single original thought yourself into what you're actually being told? Or
oh my God.
Is your entire ideology defined by reactionism?
No, I'm not ideologically possessed. I agree with certain things that sometimes the liberals say, and I can disagree with certain things that conservatives do.
Okay.
She's getting fucking washed, dude. This is terrible.
That's fine.
It's not like I watch, state Canadian media and take the opposite stance of everything they say, because twice a day a broken clock is right. So
cool.
It's not.
Okay, so then I think we can, going back to the insurrection thing, if every part of what I laid out was true, if Donald Trump slated false electors in states, had that sent to Congress, and knowingly gathered a crowd of 50,000 whatever people, and then sent them to the Capitol building in the hopes that they would protest to pressure the fake electors being chosen, do you think any of that qualifies as an insurrection?
Would I have to be an expert in insurrection law to state that?
She's not going to change her mind at all.
One way or another.
But you don't have to be an expert in insurrection law to say confidently that it wasn't?
Well, perhaps you're right about that, but
that's a good point. What the fuck?
I like I said, I refer to his actual words that he put out on social media. And
yeah, like after the fact, after he was saying, "Now's your time to fight." So.
On video saying that he's requesting for peace.
You understand that came after he was begged for hours while he and his crony, corrupt fuck Giuliani made phone calls to sitting congressmen inside of the lockdown building, right? That he was calling them, pressuring them to delay the certification of the vote. It was hours after that he finally went on Twitter when the insurrection had failed and said, okay, guys, we need to go home.
Well, like I said, I wasn't following it 24/7.
Then why do you have an opinion on it?
Holy shit. This is crazy.
You weren't following 24/7. You were following it 0-0. You have no idea what happened on any of this. Why do you think you should have an opinion on any of this?
Well, I told you I can have an opinion if I want.
Yeah, but she seems very... And I'm not going to lie. I'm not 100% informed either, right? But there's even more to this that just justifies what I was, what I was saying before. I had no idea that he was like pressuring all these different... I had no idea about all these different things. I knew he incited the riot. I knew that he was riling people up. I knew that he was saying now's the time to fight. And I knew that afterwards he decided, oh, guys, dial it back. I didn't know how involved he was. This is actually fucking insane.
You can, but then people should like make fun of you and like bully the fuck out of you for it, right? You have literally no idea about any of this. Wasn't that what our original tweet was over? Is that I think I called you didn't I call you a hack fuck? It seems like I was correct, right? You have absolutely no idea about literally any of these issues.
Yes. Okay. Maybe I haven't followed the case as closely as you have.
Hold on, not closely.
Well, then that's an issue, right?
You don't even have any idea.
Like, I don't usually make a lot of political content, right? Like, I used to back in the day, and like now we're chilling. I do like on YouTube. I'll mostly do like we cover drama. We have a little bit of fun. You know, this comes into the realm of drama. Let's be real, because of what's going on. And then like on TikTok, it's like a lot. I mean, it's jokes, but then it's also like commentary. A lot of it's like, just regular basic life commentary stuff. So I just largely stay out of politics. But this shit's fucking crazy. I mean, I'm more informed than this person, and this is fucking crazy. And I try not to talk about it too much because like I know what I know and I know what I don't. But this person is certainly very interesting.
Yeah, you have no concept. You don't know anything about what I'm talking. You don't even know what an electoral vote is, do you?
Of course.
Destiny's ideas are from Wikipedia. I mean, like, who cares? Okay, even if that's true, which I think he does a lot more than just Wikipedia. Like, what's the wrong with that? Like, what? Like, Wikipedia is a highly sourced. Like, it's all the sources on everything that's said in Wikipedia are like cited, right? Like, we understand that Wikipedia isn't just some things people are saying. Like, everything has like a pretty deep source behind it. And I think Destiny will go on stream and he'll read the sources behind everything. So, like, what is the issue with him reading Wikipedia if it's a collection of sourced information? I don't really understand.
Of course I do. Of course I do. It's what the United States has for their electoral process. We have a similar process here in Canada. It's not majority vote. It's not democracy. It's a constitutional republic.
Okay, if you know what an electoral vote is, do you think it's acceptable for people to try to fake them? Like Donald Trump did in 7 different states?
Well, like I said, what is the evidence that he faked those? What is your evidence for that?
What would you want to see? What if I could show you, hypothetically, 7 different certifications filled out with false electors? I can send you a YouTube video of these people literally gathering outside in Michigan in the courthouse. Hold on. Here's a YouTube video for that. I can go on Obsidian and I can find you the if anybody has a quick link to the like they have photographs of all of the of all the fake things that they filled out, pretending that they were
they also have photographs and video of people stuffing ballots and bringing out bags and security footage from places where people were voting, and they were putting up tarps over the windows. And
are you aware that every single one of those was investigated, and that every single one of those was heard before court? And that every single one of these, except for one, was shot down, a lot of them by conservative judges that Trump himself, or at least his administration, appointed?
Well, like I said, and
just to be clear, also, when they talk about voter fraud, there is voter fraud every election. The conversation is not like, hey, is or isn't there voter fraud? Is there enough? What the conversation is there enough widespread voter fraud to turn the election? Like, there's always going to be people that do stuff like this. Like in California, there were conservatives going around putting up ballot boxes for people in like Democratic ballot boxes or some shit. I saw a story about this, and they were like throwing them away. Right? Like, this doesn't matter. Like, it's not good. But generally, there's a difference between like some people maybe faking votes or having and whatnot versus like widespread voter fraud where there's like a huge issue. And these things might be real or they might be fake. It sounds like most of them were fake, except for one might have been like real, and it was considered. And like, yeah, that's bad. It goes in both directions. It's not just Democrats doing it, like Republicans do it. It's usually people that are like fucking obsessed with their their party. But that's not the conversation. The conversation is widespread enough, and he got shot down in every court in general. Conservative judges looked at the information and they were like, "Okay, you don't have a case." So that's pretty much where it comes down to.
Wasn't following this case 24/7, so I wasn't following the procedures that came out of that.
Okay, but you've seen pictures of it, right? Are you embarrassed or ashamed that you've had like strong opinions about this because of pictures that you've seen, because of dipshits like Elon Musk feeding you lies on Twitter?
Dustin, you don't have to be that rude. I'm being really respectful.
Hold on, no.
But it is funny. Actually, I think it's okay to be a little rude and condescending here. It's kind of...
Wait, hold on. I need you to understand something so much, okay? You're not being respectful. You're actually fucking evil, okay? This idea that you can walk around and as long as... That's great, I don't care. The idea that you can walk around and as long as you say the worst type of shit imaginable in a nice enough voice, that you should be treated with respect is absurd, right? In no other function in life would anybody ever be treated that way. You have no concept of anything related to the insurrection. You have no concept of what's even happened, aside from what you've seen, I guess, on Twitter and the media, but you're out here tweeting along with every other insurrectionist supporting fuckhead in my country about how Donald Trump is treated unfairly in the media and Joe Biden isn't fit to be president. Like, you have no idea what you're talking about for any of this, though.
Maybe at the start, Trump was treated a little unfairly at the media. I mean, he was used to like positive tabloid articles, and then like they were kind of bad faithing everything he had to say back in the day. And I think that's how we got to where we are now. We got from Trump saying dumb shit, like saying things without any decorum, which is how I think it was back in 2016, to Trump like legitimately inciting a fucking insurrection, right? So we've kind of gone down that process. And if we look at it from a human perspective, you probably understand how we got to this point. I mean, when you have the fucking, progressive media saying, Russian collusion every other day, even though it didn't happen, the Mueller report showed it didn't happen. It kind of makes sense that he would develop like a hatred for the media. I think that this is like part of like the system kind of created this problem, no? Like, even if Trump is more in the wrong, the system kind of created this issue. Let's be real.
Hey, do you think it's okay for Joe Biden voters to, make like a life-sized version of Trump and like put a fake guillotine over him, or to hold up?
Well, no, I don't think it's the right thing to do. Okay.
Bloody severed heads of him and things like that. Do you think that contributes to anything that's happening in the States?
Nope. I think that to the first question,
I don't think yes, obviously, but
I would say no. That's not acceptable. Were Democrats or protesters doing that outside of the Capitol building, except instead of a guillotine of Trump, were they talking about Mike Pence? And were they doing that because the president of the United States said that they needed to pressure Mike Pence, and that when Mike Pence wasn't accepting the pressure, he tweeted out that Pence has failed us? Did that happen? Do you remember any of that, or is that another thing that's conveniently mind-wiped from your brain?
I saw that tweet, so I saw that. You don't have to insult me. Like, there's no
this is fucking crazy.
need for that. I saw that tweet, and I saw some people calling for Mike Pence for whatever they were calling for him.
To be clear, hold on, just to be clear,
they were calling for him to like overturn the election,
calling for his assassination because he wasn't willing to finish the insurrection, to finish the coup that Donald Trump and Eastman had set up for him.
Okay,
Just to be clear,
well, I don't believe that a few crazies represent the majority.
They do.
So,
but they do. Why would you say that? The president called them there in a speech. He gave them exactly the words that they needed. He said that Mike Pence is the one who needs to toss basically the election for us. He's the only one that we can rely on. He told them that we need to make sure that our electorate slates are counted, and then he sent them to the Capitol building to pressure the people there to do whatever it is that they were supposed to do.
She's sensitive. I think it's more of a debate tactic thing because she knows she's getting absolutely washed over, and so her thing is like, I don't really know what to say. So like, oh, Destiny, you're being kind of rude. You're being kind of mean. This isn't really acting with decorum. And it does work optically. I mean, like, he does go too far with stuff, but like at the end of the day, if you cut through the bullshit, like there's nothing that he's saying is wrong. He's just being rude to her. But it does give them an opportunity to just be like, oh, well, you're using debate tactics and you're being mean to me, and that's part of your debate tactic. But at the end of the day, I mean, frankly, it doesn't seem like that big of a deal. I mean, it just is what it is, you know.
Which was to steal the election.
But did he tell them to call for his assassination? Did he incite them to do that? Is that what you're saying?
Did he incite them? Yes, he laid out every single words. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, ma'am. So he needs to say the exact words. You need to go assassinate someone for him to be culpable. In that case, you would agree then that there's not a single Democrat in leadership that you would hold responsible for any amount of violence, right? Unless, are you going to show me? Are you going to show me some kind of tweet or video of a Democrat saying we need to kill conservatives? Have you seen a single one of those?
I've seen some crazy statements coming from Democrats.
I didn't ask for crazy statements. I asked were there explicit calls for violence where they said we need to go kill conservatives.
Oh my God.
Okay, so like I don't have a photographic memory. I believe I've seen similar things. Maybe not by elected Democrats, but Democrat voters.
Oh wait, excuse me, Democrat voters? What does that have to do with anything? I was talking about the president of the United States. And now you're going to appeal to an average everyday citizen like they have the same level of moral responsibility or political culpability?
But Trump did not call for his followers to go and do something insanely violent.
Yes, he did. He called for them to go march to the Capitol grounds and to protest the certification of the vote in the United States of America to prevent the peaceful transfer of power, which is what they did for some number of hours.
A protest is a legal proceeding. You can protest peacefully.
Did they protest peacefully?
Yeah, they broke into the Capitol, and then one of them got shot and died, and it's funny, right?
I believe they did.
Really? How did the ones get inside the building?
I watched a guy saying we need to go into the Capitol, and people were around him saying, no, we do not need to do that.
They went into the Capitol. It wasn't peaceful. What are you talking about?
There was law enforcement nearby. They were saying,
Is she going to go along with that? They let them in. They let them in.
This is what these crazies are saying. You need to do something. Why aren't you doing anything? I saw windows.
How did they get into the building?
Well, from video footage, it shows them just walking in.
Hold on, excuse me. Do you think that the first people that got into the Capitol, do you think they just walked in?
Well, did you see them just walk in?
No, they didn't.
No, the ones after the first ones broke in were obviously going to be able to walk in. Yeah, no shit.
I actually watched the videos, ma'am. Have you seen any of them? Have you seen any footage that doesn't come from Tim Pool, Elon Musk, Steven Crowder, The Daily Wire, Tucker Carlson? Have you watched any original reporting on this whatsoever, or have you literally exclusively watched whatever conservative shit down your throat?
No. Okay.
So real clearly, how did the first people get into the Capitol building?
Can I respond?
Sure.
Would you consider CNN original content or like?
I'm just curious if you watch any non-right-wing, like any actual reporting on it, not like a pundit.
Do you consider CNN?
CNN is a news network. There are pundits that are on CNN, just like Fox News is a news network, and there are pundits that are on Fox News. There's reporting, which is when people do reports. Usually there are cameras involved, and then there are pundits. So people like Tucker Carlson or Anderson Cooper be a pundit.
Yes, I understand what you mean. Okay, I was just trying to clarify. So you're telling me that there's video that exists of people violently approaching the building and breaking their way in? Is that what you're saying?
You can't honestly be seriously asking me that question. Are you not aware that it is uncontested that the first people that went into the building broke in? Are you telling me right now that you don't believe that to be the case?
Well, I'm just asking you if there's footage of it that exists.
There is plenty of footage, yes. And now I'm asking you, are you under the impression that the first people that got into the Capitol building, that they walked in?
It sounds like she was. Yeah, that seems stupid to think.
From what I've seen, there was security guards standing. People were walking in.
Yeah. Okay. So let's say you're a security guard at a building and there's like 20 of you, and then there's like 400 people outside, and they're currently pouring into the building, right? I don't know the exact number of security guards or whatever. Once they break in, there's very little that you can do without getting overwhelmed. So you're like, okay, we're going to just kind of stand here while they come in because like we don't want to die. There's nothing we can do. Let's hope they don't get violent, and let's just stay posted and hope it doesn't go to shit. Like, yeah, no shit they're going to do that. What are you talking about?
And I even recall, I hope this is accurate, I even recall something, I don't agree with this, but he was just letting them walk in. So, yeah, that's what I saw. And the only violence that I saw that was happening, like broken windows or the guy shouting there, standing, his name was Ray Epps. I think he was standing and shouting and saying, we need to go into the Capitol. And people around him were appalled at what he was saying.
Nope,
and
you're
he
not
was
true.
shouting,
That's
"No,
not
no,
true. You're
don't."
lying and you didn't see that, okay? You saw that the night
Yes.
before. No, because I'm sorry. I watched all of these videos with Ray Epps. It's one of the favorite of you conservatards, okay, to try to blame everything on him.
my
All right?
God.
Well,
Which is
there's no need
also.
to insult, like,
No, there
you
is.
don't
You
have to
need to be.
insult me.
You needed to be bullied so much more in life, okay? Jesus fucking Christ, okay? The videos of
you
Ray
don't know
Epps
anything
calling.
about my life.
I know
Why
enough
do you-
about you. I know enough about you to know that your opinion is worthless and that you are one of the strongest arguments for why there should be an IQ limit to actually get onto social media and post opinions about politics.
Bro, this is fucking crazy.
Is that how free speech works, Destiny?
No.
Well, yeah, it is. Well, that wouldn't be how free speech works. I think he's just insulting you for being stupid. But
Fortunately, I guess not.
Like, are you for free speech?
oh, she's shifting. She's shifting. This is why you can't go off on a fucking tangent, because now she's able to shift the conversation.
Generally. Good thing we're on a
Okay,
social
so-
media platform that's privately owned right now, so freedom of speech isn't really a topic for discussion here. What do you think free speech means in the United States, by the way? Do you think
No, I want to go back to the other conversation.
corporations have to host every single thing that's said on them?
Well, I view the space that we're currently on, Twitter, as a town digital square. So I believe free speech should apply on this platform, because no one stands in the town square anymore. It's kind of an out.
I don't think that we need an IQ limit. I think that we just need to push for better education, because I think most people will be dumb as fuck. But
Dated concept. So
Okay,
this
and
is
if I
what-
declare your basement the town square, can me and my friends go hang out there and like have some drinks? Why?
well, Twitter makes sense that you would consider Twitter like a town square. Just to be clear, like it makes sense that it's like an online platform. It makes sense that it's like a town square. Some level of freedom of speech should be maintained. That's a whole conversation to have about like how far is too far, because like some people will post like legitimate like beheading videos. There are less consequences. I don't really know. There's a line to be drawn somewhere. But it makes the town hall argument does make sense to have, even if you don't agree with it.
Why would I care what your individual determination is for something?
Like I'm fine as a content creator with like regulating some speech. Depending on what it is, I look at things like the Daily. I look at YouTube. You look at things like the Daily Wire. They say some provocative shit, but they stay within like a reasonable amount, so they don't get banned on YouTube. I think it's fair, and then they pull other people to like their other platforms where their stuff might be a little bit more intense. So I don't think YouTube does a bad job. If it gets too radical, advertisers don't advertise, then we don't make money, right? Like that is a factor. But I think that there can be some limits to like how you express yourself. I don't think it's a big deal. But that's a whole conversation I don't feel like having. So not right now, at least.
Particular space online. You realize that's totally irrelevant to anything that exists in law or the Constitution, right?
Okay, so how do you see free speech then? So you see that this platform is.
I have
free
absolutely
speech
no
does not
desire.
apply
I have
here?
no desire to discuss this topic with you. Maybe for another time. But
Okay.
you're unaware then, because I can start linking you like for all the violent videos that you saw of people that were breaking in or of people that were fighting cops or whatever. Where do you think that came from? Do you think it was like just lifted from Baltimore and they said it was the Capitol building, or?
Like there was a crowd of people in front of the White House. So what do you mean like lifted from Baltimore? I don't understand what you mean.
For the
Can you
people that were
explain
breaking in, how do you think?
Yeah, I saw
why were they
windows being
breaking in?
broken. I saw windows being broken, and I saw people saying, "What are you doing?" And then I saw law enforcement being around and not doing anything about it. And I presume the law enforcement that's there on the grounds of this official building, should have done something about it, but they didn't, and that was confusing. And
Yes, what matters to leftists is corporate advertisers. Just to be clear, you're a stupid fuck, and it matters to every single conservative too. It matters to conservatives that you're going to be able to make some money on the content. When YouTube's expectation is don't incite like legitimate hate speech by using like racial slurs. That's pretty much all it is. So like it matters to every side to not go that far. Like you want to sit here and cry about it as if fucking conservatives don't need to make money. They obviously need to make money. Me saying like, hey, it makes sense that the platforms would want to keep things in a reasonable line so they can make advertiser revenue is something I appreciate since this is my job. It's stupid to think otherwise. Like conservatives feel the same way. That's why Ben Shapiro censors his speech and doesn't want to be demonetized on YouTube, so he gets monetized, which is something he should be able to do. So me saying, hey, I think it's okay to monitor some of the things that are said or the way that they're said on social media. There's nothing wrong with that take. You just want to have like a delusional conspiracy theory and just dismiss everything that I have to say because you're a fucking idiot that doesn't realize that money matters to people in their life. So shut the fuck up. You're obviously full of shit. There should be a level of free speech, but I think it's okay for them to not want like actual slurs to be used or calls to violence on like, which by the way isn't covered by free speech, calls to violence on social media platforms. It's not a hot take at all. Literally the Daily Wire, like the biggest conservative fucking media engine, is on here and they're able to monetize. They like that they're able to monetize. It's not that big of a deal. Do I think you're conservative? No, I think you're fucking stupid because of the way that you interpreted what I had to say intentionally because you're a dumb fuck. That's why. And yes, you obviously are conservative.
so, and the majority of the people were there, as you said, protesting under allegedly Trump directing them there to go and protest and be violent and whatever it is that you said. Like I think they were opposing the actions that were happening.
Why do you think the cops
Pardon?
didn't stop them?
I don't know. Why wouldn't they stop them?
Because there weren't
Probably because there's not that many cops and there's a lot of people there.
enough of them, because nobody knew that Donald Trump was going to invite and send his whole crowd of insurrectionists to the Capitol building to try to delay the certification of the vote.
Well, why
Yeah, that makes sense. They only have so many people there.
wasn't there enough? Like, if people thought that he was so bad, why wouldn't they bring reinforcements?
It's not really relevant to the question.
Why not?
Because it's not
It-
relevant.
like,
It
for
doesn't
example-
have any. It doesn't contradict any of the underlying facts.
For example, you know, people like
So the question is like, why weren't the police better prepared? A good point. They weren't though. So like they're dealing with where they are now. Okay.
Pelosi and all.
No,
all
I'm
the
sorry.
Democrats.
Excuse me. No, Pelosi has nothing to do with this. If your strongest counter argument is, well, maybe Pelosi should have called for more guards to fight against Trump's insurrectionists. I mean, like, what the fuck kind of argument are you even making there?
I don't think he called for insurrectionists again, but if
What was-
like
what
I
was-
said, if
what was he
if
calling
all
people
the-
to- what were they going to
okay,
protest?
Can I just finish the thought?
Yeah, go for it.
Can I just finish the thought? So, like, if these people who were saying Trump is literally Hitler and he's the devil and you know, he needs to be taken out or whatever it is that they said, like, if that was their belief about him and they kept saying, you know, Hillary said he's an illegitimate president.
Why is there more expectation on the ones being insurrectioned? I don't understand.
And all these things, wouldn't like their first instinct, like they said he's a threat to democracy, he's a dictator, he's this, he's that. Wouldn't their like instinct be to, on the day where they would, you know, they thought that he would do something crazy, to, you know, make sure there was enough guards, to make sure there was enough people to stop some of the
when Hillary said that Trump
things
was an
that went
illegitimate
down?
president, what was she referring to? You
What
don't
she
even know.
said-
Do you even know
Yes,
what speech
yes.
it came from or what she was talking about? Yeah.
She was talking about Trump, and she was saying he knows he's an illegitimate president. Like, that sounds like election denial to me.
Okay. Well, it's not. You should go look up the context of like some of these speeches rather than just going by the tweets that you see that are showing.
Okay, so help me understand.
No,
so
I
when
don't.
she said-
Well, wait, no, hold on. What I want to help you understand first is I want you to watch this, and I just want you to talk through with this. I want you to talk me through this, okay? Like, go to 15:30 and tell me what are we watching? What's happening
I
here?
mean, I feel like there's I don't know the context behind what Hillary said, but there's a difference between just saying that, which is not good, although maybe there's a context that makes it better, versus trying, like, starting an insurrection and disavowing your own vice president because they will not go along with your insurrection. It's probably a little bit different. I feel like those energies are different.
What do you mean? Like, you sent a link? You want me to go open a link?
Yeah. Are you on a computer or a phone right now?
I'm on both.
Okay. I want you to open this up and we'll just go to 15:30 and I just want to watch a little bit. I just want to watch together. I just want to see. I want you to give me your take on what's actually happening in this video.
Which link is it? There's 3 links here.
The last one I sent you. You can read the other first one in your own time or not. You probably won't. It doesn't matter.
Okay, it says, okay. It's 40 minutes long.
Yep. Put a 15 minutes and 30 seconds. We just have to watch a minute or two.
This guy's coping in the stream because he's so upset that I've called him out before and he feels stupid and he won't stop commenting. This is what people ask me all the time. They'll be like, "Hey, why don't you put the chat on the screen?" You're fucking idiots like this. They want to like take up time in the chat. If I put it on the stream, it's just gonna make him more inclined to like, and just start like jacking off on this keyboard and fucking covering it and come. That's why I don't put that's why I don't put these things on the stream. There's no reason to give that person attention, you know. And if you want to look at it, you can just pay $2 a month and a membership. Pop a cut.
Let me know when you're there, and then we'll start it at the same time.
Okay, I'm watching it.
Oh wait, what time are you at?
15:25.
Okay, wait, we can start at the same time. Okay, ready? 3,
Sure.
2, 1, go.
Okay, so people are marching with
Yep.
flags.
Yep.
I can see that. Yep.
Just curious, what do you think they're going here to protest?
The results they believe that was
I mean, communism.
stolen from them.
Ah, so they're going here to protest the election. Okay.
Is protesting illegal?
I didn't say. Did I say that this was illegal? No, I said that this is overall as part of an insurrection. Why is this guy
Oh wait, why is I thought they were let in?
kicking?
No,
wait,
earlier-
why is this guy
no, earlier
kicking?
you said-
Stop, don't divert. Hold on, don't divert. Protesting in and of itself is obviously not illegal. I'm asking you what these people are going here to protest for. I'm just curious if you have an idea. Hold on, wait, I pause. Go back to 15:56. Why is he breaking that window open when the cops are supposed to be opening for them? At 15:53, you have an
People-
idea?
Well, like I said, I watched them break windows, and I watched other people telling them not to do this.
Oh, okay.
Who cares? They're doing it, and then after the windows are broken, people enter.
So, okay, well, at what time are you at right now?
15:54.
Okay, well, we'll start again in 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, there's the door. Oh, they broke that one too. That's crazy. Where are the
Everybody who enters the building after the building was broken into are accountable to some degree for what happened previously, because they let other people use violence to break into the building, and now they're like, we might as well go in now. So just because they walk in peacefully doesn't mean that they might be walking in peacefully, but they obviously are co-signing what the other person did by breaking in the first place. So
cops here that are letting them into the building? Do you know where they're at this
Yeah,
point?
where are they? Why is there not enough?
they just didn't have enough cops. Why are these people fucking storming the Capitol?
It's a good question.
Like, if
That doesn't matter though. That's not relevant. The question right now is what's happening outside.
Why is there so much? Like, there should be more cops. Great. Why is there so much Like, why is every expectation on the police and not on the people breaking into the Capitol?
Are they getting into the building? Before you told me, if you want to change the claim to there weren't enough officers there, we can have that conversation. But you said earlier that you'd seen.
I'm not changing the claim. I clearly stated there was not enough officers, and
cool, I agree.
There wasn't.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yep.
Yeah, so we don't disagree there.
Okay. So then did the people break into the Capitol building then, or were they let in?
In some of this footage, a few individuals are breaking a window.
And then everybody storms in afterwards because they co-signed that breaking in.
We'll keep watching.
Pushing down a barricade.
Okay, we'll keep watching. Yeah. I'm at 16:53 now. Seems like they're trying to push some cops back. No, yeah, are you there?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, we've got, okay. So do the cops look like they're leading them in here? Would you have that impression?
No, here they don't.
Oh, okay,
They
gotcha.
don't look like they're leading them here at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just checking.
They should have just unleashed, they should have just mowed them down.
Like I can acknowledge when I haven't
I'm
seen
kidding. They shouldn't go that far, but
footage before. I'm not like I said. I'm not.
It's funny, like when this happens during like a BLM protest, then like, oh my god, like fucking black people are rabid dogs. But when this happens in January 6th, all of a sudden, like, oh no, all these white people are innocent fucking victims, and they were let into the building. It's fucking crazy. Like, it's fucking insane. And black people aren't dogs, by the way. That is the perspective of fucking, people who weren't particular fans of BLM. I just like this fucking crazy.
Ideologically possessed to excuse anything.
Thank you for the $5 from Maximo1. Should ask her how she feels about police actions against black people if they have such a high expectations. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I just said. Yeah.
And everything.
The fact that you haven't seen this means that you are so ideologically brainwashed. You're like in another dimension. Yes,
I don't think so.
You absolutely are. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it is.
Do these cops here, the guy with the baton that's hitting the people, do you think that he's letting them in peacefully?
Well, clearly.
I mean, the fact that you haven't seen this means that you saw information on Twitter or wherever, and you took it as fact, and you decided not to go and look at anything for yourself. So.
No,
okay. Just making sure.
Not.
Okay. The gates here that are being pushed over, was that by the order of the cops? Oh, you see the cops walking back now. Do you think that they're letting them in peacefully now? Now are the cops leading them in? Or do you think they're retreating from position because there are 50,000 savages that are in front of them that have all been riled up from Donald Trump and marched like a mile away to come to the Capitol building to protest the election results? Or were they just letting them in? Do you have any idea?
Okay, so some of them were let in. Some of them approached without being held back by the law enforcement.
Okay, well now we're coming to the building. Okay, is this guy banging on the window, the one that broke it there? Are these guys being let in right now?
Wow.
That guy? Doesn't look like it. Hold on. Oh, now when that guy jumps in and the cop is spraying, what is that, silly putty? I guess it must be at him or whatever because they're playing games here.
Jesus Christ.
Are there already people being led into the building at some other spot at this point? Or are the first people in the building the ones that broke in?
There's a few people that broke in. Yes,
the first ones that got in broke in,
anyway,
correct?
Everybody who entered into this building broke in. If you go into the building after it was broken into, you are co-signing the breaking in.
So just to get back.
No, wait. First, I want to hear you say the first people that got into here broke in, correct?
The first few people, it looks like some of them were pushing their way in.
She's never going to be honest about this topic. At least not now. She has to get through a dumb fucking skull. It's clearly people broke in. All right. If 10 people are outside your house, one of them breaks your door down and the other 9 walk in peacefully behind them, how many people broke into your house? Answer that question. Is it 1 or is it 9 or 10? It's not 9, it's 10. 1 or 10? Which one is it?
And no. What do you call it when you push through a material and you break it? That's called a break-in. They broke in, right?
So I just have a quick question for you. Like you seem extremely angry about all of this,
yes,
and you're fighting.
Yeah, why would? I mean, it makes sense you'd be so angry. What do you mean?
With a lot of people on Twitter.
Yep.
You're insulting people on Twitter.
I am.
So, do you think that any of what's been said by the people in the last 4 years, like I said, demonizing Trump, calling him, like literally Hitler, and celebrating, the people celebrating the attempt on his life, do you think that contributes to what was happening in 2020?
I mean, it might to some degree. Like I already said that there's some blame on like the left media because of the way that they were framing some things and the way that like the right media on the right is doing too. But sure, I think it contributes to it. But at the end of the day, Donald Trump is the main problem, though.
No, maybe a little, maybe 1%. Here's the issue you have is because your problem is you're saying too many people are demonizing Trump. Have you ever stopped to think, well, maybe he's acting like a demon? People are treating Trump like he's a dictator. Have you ever thought that maybe he's actually acting like a dictator? The fact that you're not familiar with anything that happened you don't know any of the evidence. You don't know the entire Jack Smith indictment. You didn't even know that the first people that got into the Capitol building broke in. Why would I care what you know? You clearly know nothing about any of this. Yet you seem to have a strong opinion about it.
I don't think that's correct. I think I know.
Well, that seems to be very correct.
I think I know some things. I wasn't following, like I said, wasn't following it 24/7 without sleeping or reading full indictments, but
You don't have to do that. You could have just watched those videos.
Or reading any part of an indictment, right? Can you be honest about that? You haven't read a single sentence in any of the 4 indictments that Donald Trump is facing in the United States, right? Well, I guess it's only 3 now because 1 case is done. Hopefully it gets tossed. Thank God for the Supreme Court. But can you admit that you haven't read a
Thank you so much for Sophie S. for the small gut. I appreciate it.
single word of any of those indictments?
No, before that, can you...
No, I need to hear you. I need to hear you say that first, so that we're on the same page, and then I'll answer whatever question you want. You haven't read a single sentence from any of those indictments.
You interrupted me when I was trying to talk to you about him being a dictator. You say he's a dictator. He's acting like
she's cooked.
A dictator.
Yeah.
Did he not relinquish his, his loss?
He was forced to after he lost like in 18 different ways. After his own vice president wouldn't go along with it. If Mike Pence would have went along with it, we'd probably be having a different conversation.
Failed after a failed insurrection. So no, he didn't relinquish it. He lost his insurrection attempt, and then he walked away.
So even though he said, "Be peaceful, we're not violent," and all those things, you still believe that you assess for that to be part of him inciting an insurrection, yeah?
Yeah, he was saying it's your time to fight now. He only called it off after he fucking lost. What?
Of course, because I have a brain. And somebody saying in 1 sentence, walk peacefully, doesn't magically nullify the entire hour-long speech where he's telling people you have to fight like hell or you're going to lose your country, or that we have to pressure Congress to do the right thing and count the legally slated electors. So hold on, I just want to be really clear, because in any other circumstance you would understand this, but obviously your brain is subject to the political cancer that has manifested there for at least the last 4 years, right? No, a single sentence in a 1-hour speech does not nullify the entirety of the speech, because guess what? If I look at what happened right after the speech, do you think it's a coincidence that people went there marching, chanting 1776 on the day that the election was going to be certified, and then they broke into the building and they delayed the certification of the election? Was all that just a coincidence?
So you think the words "fight like hell" is problematic? But
in the context, yeah.
You don't see other words as problematic when they say...
Kat, I'm so sorry.
Example,
I don't evaluate this like a 4-year-old. I'm not looking at 1 sentence or 1 word, because I know what you're going to say. Well, when they said fight like hell, what about when Nancy Pelosi says we need to fight? And what about what? No, it's not the same. What I'm saying is that, taken as a whole, Donald Trump called people here on January 6th to do this speech while they were certifying the vote. He riled them up. He tried to rig the election, and then he sent them to the Capitol building to protest, where they broke in, where they delayed the certification of the election, which was his goal, and then he made calls.
An impassioned speech for his country is them riling his base up.
What were they going there to protest? What were they going there to protest?
Pardon?
What were they going there to protest?
They were going to protest because they thought the election was stolen from them unlawfully.
That's an insurrection.
No, it isn't.
What do you think it means if you go to protest because you think an election was stolen?
Well, Hillary thought it was stolen.
Hillary
didn't start an insurrection, so
gave up that right. Hillary gave up that. How many court cases did Hillary launch to challenge the election results? Can you tell me how many court cases was it?
How many powerful people wanted her kept out of power?
How many court cases did Hillary Clinton launch to challenge the election results?
Did she have an entire barrage of media and elected officials demonizing her and doing the same thing that they're doing to Trump, trying to prevent her from being elected? Did that happen to Hillary?
How many court cases?
Who was trying to prevent Trump from being elected? What are you talking about?
Did Hillary Clinton launch challenging the results of the election?
But did she have such a forceful barrage of, like I said, media, elected officials, and including their base, just vehemently opposing, calling her Hitler, calling her the devil, saying all these things?
Yes, the Republicans had been doing it for years. Yes. What do you think the email scandal was about? What do you think the Benghazi hearings were about? By the way, hearings that Hillary Clinton sat through, gave testimony for like 12 hours, and an investigation that she fully cooperated with. Not like the insurrectionist, traitorous president that you support, who invoked executive privilege at every single opportunity, who pled the fifth at every single opportunity, and who has now been granted absolute criminal immunity for some of his actions, so that he never has to answer for any of the things that he's done. So to go back one more time, answer your question. To go back one more time, how many lawsuits did Hillary Clinton file challenging the result of the election?
I don't know. Did she file any?
Not a single one.
Okay. So
when did Hillary concede the election? It was within 1 day. Do you agree with that?
I wasn't following closely then, so I don't know.
It was within a day.
Called him an illegitimate president.
That's great. I know. Yeah, I know. You got those good talking points in. I like how that. By the way, I like how that 1 sentence. That's enough for you there. But 1 sentence from Trump saying "fight like hell," and then afterwards, people going "fight like hell." That doesn't mean anything to you. That's very funny to me.
Fight like hell doesn't necessarily mean go and try to assassinate a VP or break windows or anything like that.
Then why is it? Wait. Let's say I agree with what you just said. Okay, sure. Why is it then that when that started to happen, and when staffer after staffer went in begging Trump, hey, can you call off your sycophantic savage fuck fans? Can you please do that? Donald Trump sat there drinking a Diet Coke while Ashley Babbitt got shot in the fucking face in the basement of the Capitol building dying. Can you tell me why Donald Trump didn't stop them if they weren't doing exactly what he wanted to do? Why did
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point.
Donald Trump and his crooked fuck lawyer, Giuliani, make phone calls to lawmakers inside of Congress telling them, hey, maybe you should delay the vote. Maybe you should push it back a few days. Why did he do that if that wasn't exactly what he wanted his protesters to do?
Good question. I mean, I don't think I could ever come up with an answer. Jesus Christ.
How do you know?
I'm going to react the same. Just so you know, the conversation is over right here until you answer that question. Or give me an alternative thing. I'm not answering another fucking. I'm not playing this game. You have to tell me what was the point, because it seems incredibly obvious. Donald Trump gave a speech. They went to the Capitol. They broke in. They delayed the certification of the vote, which is what Donald Trump apparently wanted them to do. And for hours, while they protested, breaking windows, breaking doors, breaking on inside, he sat and he watched. And the only phone calls that he made while people were begging him to tweet to stop the violence were to try to pressure lawmakers to delay the vote. Tell me why he did that. Why did he wait for hours? Give me one possible explanation that doesn't satisfy my story.
I'm not in his mind. I'm not a mind reader. I can't ascribe motivation to.
Okay, great. Fucking okay. There's really no other option. Either he's completely fucking dumb and brain dead and doesn't know, and like that's it, and he's got Joe Biden brain, or it's very clear that they were doing what he wanted, so he didn't say anything.
his thoughts that I don't have access to, Destiny.
Oh, that's great. What is your profession? What do you do professionally?
That's not relevant.
Okay, why do you think?
Might be.
Do you think that we can't ascertain the state of mind of a person ever? You think that's just impossible? Earlier you said that I was angry. How do you know that? Maybe that's how I always talk when I'm streaming. Why did you assume that I was angry?
I've watched you stream. Like you speak fast, and you obviously come prepared. You have your talking points. So like you.
Yeah, this is her again trying to make sure people know that like he's just a good debater. So there's nothing that she can really do. That's the whole point of that.
But to be clear, none of these are talking points. If you want, we can spend. I'm streaming until I got 4 hours. So if you want, we can dig as deep, or I can even just link you because I've got whole documents that I've written on this whole scheme and this whole plan. I've read every single indictment from top to bottom. I've read every single criminal statute involved in the indictment from top to bottom, and I've read basically every fucking news article written about these indictments from top to bottom. So no, I don't have just talking points. That's what you have when you say Hillary Clinton said that Donald Trump was an illegitimate president, and also I have no idea what happened on January 6th or the entire lead up to the insurrection for what Donald Trump did. So no, I don't have talking points.
It's an unfair statement to say I have no idea what's going on.
It seems pretty fair when you're when you're less informed on this than I am. I mean, you're definitely fucked.
Anything about the whole scam? Do you know anything about Mike Eastman and the coup memo, or what their plot was on January 6th? What do you think Donald Trump was talking about when he said Mike Pence?
That seems really obscure. That seems obscure to me.
Oh, well, that's crazy because it was literally part of 2 of the massive indictments that Donald Trump is facing that he's probably going to get away from now because of the criminal immunity has been granted. Do you think that the Jack Smith indictment is obscure?
Damn, it's terrible. But as I listen to this more and more, I think I don't know, man. I don't know. I kind of understand why Destiny was almost advocating for Trump's assassination. This is fucking crazy. I mean, if you can show me a conservative who's able to like, no, none of what you're saying is true, then like, hey, then we're having a different conversation. But I don't know, man. This seems pretty fucking crazy. Do
you think that the Georgia Rico case is obscure? Is it obscure unless it shows up in like a Twitter headline or a TikTok video for you?
I don't use TikTok.
Okay, where the fuck do you get your news from that the most important stuff that's happened in this country related to this election and the current ongoing criminal cases are obscure trivia to you? You know that like the federal government hosts these indictments for everybody to read, right?
I would say that's obscure to a lot of people that aren't terminally online. Like,
terminally online? I mean, this is you educating yourself on like what you're talking about on a day-to-day basis.
Online? I'm sorry, hold on. You think that knowing what's in a federal indictment for a prior sitting president makes you terminally online?
No,
okay, hold on, wait. Can you admit that what you just said was beyond fucking stupid, right? Tell me, it is actually reasonable that maybe I'll let you slide because you're a fucking Canadian retard, okay? But for an American citizen,
oh my god,
that's voting, maybe. Well, you're Canadian and you are retarded. I'm just calling it as I say it, okay?
Hey, I don't like that word.
Regulate.
Just call her British, okay? That's the same thing, but just nicer.
Dude, it is reasonable that an American. I don't care. I'm so over it. Kat, I don't care that you're trying to insult me or not. What you're doing is so much worse. You don't see how evil you are, okay? It is so much worse than calling me names. If you were more informed and then you were calling me names, I'd be fine with it. That's okay. I don't give a fuck. I'm done with the civility bullshit where as long as you're speaking politely, you think that gives you carte blanche to act like the scum of the fucking earth, okay? Can you tell me it is not unreasonable for an American citizen to be familiar with what is in a...
We're watching a fucking... that shooter missed Trump, but Destiny is fucking... He's not missing her. He's fucking murdering her. We've still seen a murder today, brothers.
Criminal indictment for a past president. That's not a terminally online thing to know. Can you admit that?
I have to disagree. I think most people don't sit there reading through indictments.
Okay, who do you think should? Maybe the people that are spoon-feeding you the news that you consume, maybe at least they should have to read it? Do you think?
What do you mean people spoon-feeding me news? People can consume news however they practice.
Sure, but
sure they can, but you're kind of stupid if you don't verify some of it. Oh fuck.
I mean, it's obvious for your news consumption. You look at a media feed that feeds you headlines, and then you read that, and that's where your opinion is formed from. So the people that are feeding you those headlines, don't you think at least they should have read the indictments?
No, just one second. I don't need news headlines. I can assess information for myself when I see it.
Well, that's clearly not the case. Like, I generally speaking, if I see something happening, I try to like look it up, especially on the fucking Twitter. Twitter is not a Twitter, TikTok. I will never hear something that happens there and go, this definitely happened. I'll go and I'll look up an independent source, something that's actually a credible source of information instead of just reading a TikTok or Twitter, because it's not reliable sets of information. Obviously, I think everybody knows that. You have to take it with a grain of salt. So it sounds like she doesn't do that. Like, she saw the insurrection. She's like, oh, she saw the January 6th insurrection, and she was like, oh, looks like they're being let in. Okay. Didn't look it up. Didn't try to verify that. Took that as a fact. So.
This is the last piece of original.
Hey, what's up, Jack? Thank you for the $5. Jack Esposito. Is it Esposito? Even though I dislike Trump, it's unacceptable what has happened. The division is tearing us apart. Destiny is based, and the reincarnation of Socrates. Okay. Interesting. Maybe that's true, brother. I mean, if you say it's true, I gotta take that as a fact. I don't even need to verify that information. Okay. Thank you, Jack.
Digested information that you've read. No, you deserve to be condescended to. My country is having a fucking ex-insurrectionist, okay, try to run for president, and you support him. So no, I think it's okay for me to be highly critical, but you don't know anything about it, but you have a strong opinion about it. I don't understand where you people fucking come from. I don't know why you would be so confident. Do you think what do you think I do all fucking day? That you're confident enough to come in here knowing absolutely fucking nothing about anything that's happening? Be like, okay, well, I'll go and have a reasonable conversation with this person.
Okay, so I don't think you're having a reasonable conversation with me. I think you're being
No, you're not. That's what he's saying. Why would you expect that from me since you're a fucking idiot?
extremely rude. I've been respectful to you. I've indulged in clicking on a link that you've asked me to look at. I've agreed with some of your points. I disagree on your assessment. I just don't like. I see you.
She's on the verge of tears, guys.
Become extremely dysregulated, and you don't even know me, and you're telling me that
This is where she bows out.
you're telling me all these things about me, that I'm this and I'm that. Like I
kind of agree with Destiny here. Kind of based, bro. It's kind of based.
don't think that's is a productive conversation.
You're beyond having a productive conversation. Also, you're not the first. You won't be the last woman to use a psychological term on me. Don't worry, I'm immune to it at this point.
What
you have
psychological
no
term?
dysregulated. The fact that you have no concept. The fact that you have no concept of any of the stuff that's even in the criminal indictments. Do you understand how absolutely fucking infuriating that is? That people don't even know what our president or our ex-president was charged with. They don't even know.
Well,
you don't think that's insane?
Like I told you, there's people who follow this case 24/7.
Hold on, excuse me. No, hold on. You don't get to characterize my positions. Follow the case 24/7.
Characterize mine.
What was I incorrect about?
Well, you were using ad hominem attacks to discredit my viewpoints. And
Well, that's not true. He was discrediting her viewpoints and then insulting her after the fact. He wasn't just like, oh, you're stupid, you're dumb, you're a woman, whatever. He was making her look really stupid by disproving all her points and then calling her stupid to reinforce that idea. Because he seems to be right. So there's a difference between discrediting due to ad hominem attacks versus discrediting based on facts and then engaging in ad hominem attacks.
I discredited your viewpoints by saying how stupid they were, and then I pointed to the fact they probably happened because of your news conception. I'm sorry, wait, what point of yours do you think that I didn't discredit on a substantive basis? Just because I'm calling you names doesn't mean I'm engaged in ad hominem. I can both call you names and substantively disagree with the things you say. Can you give me one thing you said you feel like I haven't substantively?
Ad hominem is calling someone names and calling them stupid.
No, I'm sorry, man, but an ad hominem is when you dismiss a person's argument by appealing to a personal attack.
Okay. Well, then that's not what he did at all. He didn't do any ad hominems. He just criticized her point and then called her stupid, and it was kind of funny.
I say you're wrong because of XYZ dipshit. That's not an ad hominem. That's just me calling you a name after substantively disagreeing with you. So if there's a point that you feel like you made that I didn't address, feel free to tell me and I will address it.
Okay, as I said, I don't think there's such a need for insulting.
Yeah, she's got nothing.
I don't think that's called for, but maybe we can agree to disagree on that. Ad hominems don't help in my opinion, but yeah, I wasn't prepared for you being like as angry as you are. Do
you understand that from my perspective? We are looking at a decent chance of the next president being a guy who, at least from my point of view, launched an insurrection against the government. That's where we're at right now. And everybody around the world is so interested in defending this traitorous scum fuck, okay? And then when I press them on it, okay, whether it's you, whether it's the Constantine guy who throws his Ukrainian family under the bus to suck off fucking Putin, whether it's Tim Pool who's beating his rep so fucking tightly around his fucking head that he can't process more than 1 or 2 sentences, okay, without saying something, right? That all of these people, all of these people, he's subhuman scum, okay? That all of these people are interested in defending this guy and nobody knows the substance of any of what he's even charged with. Do you understand how frustrating that is? As an American who has a vested interest in seeing his country at least not turn into an authoritarian dictatorship?
I think it's far-fetched to say that if Trump is reelected through the Electoral College, like you said, would be, what was the word that you just used? Like,
authoritarian dictatorship. Why do you think it's far-fetched?
Well, because, like I said, I don't believe he acts like a dictator.
You don't? Okay, how not? Do you think for instance, do you think a dictator would try to prevent the peaceful transfer of power?
I don't think he was trying to prevent the peaceful.
Well, he was. He quite literally did. I don't know at this point. What's the point?
Transfer of power. He called for peace. He called for law and order. He said we are for law and order.
So every single violent protest.
Well, yeah, Destiny is terminally online, but it's not terminally online to deeply research the topic you're talking about. Like, yeah, it's weird that he wrote some fucking manifesto about his marriage, right? That's terminally online, but it's not unrealistic. It's a reasonable expectation to deeply research a topic if you're going to have strong opinions. And I don't know this girl, but she seems to be a specific political person. Maybe I'm wrong about that. You shouldn't be explicitly political if you're not willing to put in the effort to actually look into your stuff, right? Like, that's why I'm not a super political guy anymore. Like, I look into, like, the opinions. If I have a strong opinion about something, it means that I've looked into it, okay? Like God of War 3 not being very good. I have a strong opinion on something because I've looked into it. I have all the facts, right? If I don't look into it, I don't really have a super strong opinion on it, right? So it's funny. I would love to see a conservative discount what Destiny is saying about anything, because then I won't believe him. But as it stands right now, I think I'm more on the Trump hate train than I've ever been before, man. Like, this is fucking crazy. A lot of stuff that I didn't know about. I feel a little silly for not keeping myself as informed as I probably should have. But the Trump seems to be a legitimate threat to democracy. So, starting tomorrow, I'm going to go to my local gun store and I'm going to start training them to shoot properly. And I'm just kidding. Well, actually, I might get a gun, but nothing to do with like shooting anybody. I think I might just want to have one for fun. I've been thinking about it for a while. That was a joke. Okay, I'm never gonna do anything like that. That's fucking crazy. All right. But I do kind of want like a gun. That'd be kind of cool, you know. Just to, like shoot sometimes and learn how to do that in case there is some kind of weird, crazy shit going on. I'd like to be educated in the ways of the sword, not the sword. But okay.
Sure, that was just random that they all went and violently protested the certification of the electoral vote.
Well, okay.
Oh, she's about to do the BLM thing. She's gonna go, what about BLM? Yeah, go ahead, do it. Do your I'm just gonna ignore it, so go ahead.
No, you're not getting ignored, although BLM did mostly peacefully protest with fires in the streets.
Hold on, do you agree that BLM was mostly peaceful?
No.
You're actual subhuman trash. You think that the majority of the BLM protests were violent?
Well, no, the majority of them were peaceful. Most of them were annoying. I think I had somebody I knew went to them and they just like chanted and did a march, and it's like, okay, dude, why don't you do a February? Okay. Yeah. But also, I disagree with the violence that happened, and Destiny got in a lot of trouble for agreeing that people who are being violent should be dealt with accordingly. So you can't really push him on this as some kind of ideologically, you know, like he's pretty tight on he's pretty consistent here.
I saw a lot of America burn under BLM protests.
Fuck you. What do you care and know about America? You have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. You think there were like millions and millions of people protesting for like a year. You think the majority of those were violent? You're actually deranged if you think that. I don't even know.
No, I didn't say majority. I said I saw BLM protests that were violent.
I didn't ask what you said.
She just said it was the majority. What are you talking about?
On YouTube, I didn't say. I'm asking you that the majority of them were violent.
And anchors from outlets that were reporting on the ground, such as CNN, I believe it was.
Yeah, I know. I saw the same one. Yeah, I saw the same meme image. Don't worry, I've tweeted out before. It was real funny. Yep, I've seen it.
Fiery but mostly peaceful. Do you disagree that do you agree that you can call a protest that involves burning down police stations and streets and storefronts and?
Well, that's what they should have been burning down, is the police station. Like, listen, the violence is never acceptable, but like, if the police are fucking with you, why are you burning down Target and other black-owned small businesses? You should never do this, but go attack a police station if you're protesting the police. You should never do that, by the way. That's wrong. But it makes no sense that you're attacking Target or fucking shoe stores. Okay? Or car dealerships for Hellcats. Or the fat white women's store. Okay, I'm being stupid now. Sorry. But I mean, if you're angry at the police, why the fuck are you attacking Target? You know what I mean? It doesn't really make sense to me. Like I said, none of these are acceptable. You shouldn't be doing any bad behavior. But I just happen to be saying a thing. Okay, I'm gonna fucking die here.
Where people have to put up signs saying we're a black-owned business. Please don't burn us down. We support Democrats. Don't smash our windows. Do you think you can call that mostly peaceful?
Well, that specifically, those actions, no. But we're talking about the majority of the protests were peaceful, obviously. But the ones that weren't peaceful were bad. You should be peaceful. Okay.
You know what, Kat? Whatever I would call that, I would never utter it in front of you because you don't even deserve to get that concession. You don't even deserve to have me accurately assess that.
Okay,
when you won't even for a microsecond. Why the fuck, if you're on the left, should you admit to or concede to any of these things when you delusional, unhinged, cowardly, spineless fucks won't even admit to what happened on January 6th? It's like the most open fucking case in the world. The thing that when Donald Trump tries to defend himself, he says, I need criminal immunity to not be in trouble here. Right? So no, I'm not even gonna concede to a fucking BLM thing, okay? God bless the fucking protesters, okay? They can go fight with the white nationalists in the streets and they can all go fucking, have fun with each other at this point.
Destiny.
Well, it doesn't sound like he likes those protesters too much.
Destiny. Okay, thank you for that tirade. Do you see anyone that? Okay, you say I'm not worthy of a response to the BLM protest. Why don't you do you see anyone in the room that's quote worthy of discussing that point with you? Maybe you can.
I didn't come here to discuss the BLM protests, so no, I'm not here to discuss that.
Okay, well,
I'm here to discuss the stuff related to Donald Trump and the insurrection. That's what I came here to discuss. If anybody here wants to jump on that, then sure, yeah, we can talk about it. If someone wants to talk about BLM protests at some other point, we can. But I probably agree with most of them. But the difference is the left is generally willing to critique their side. The right is beyond critique. You guys are incapable, you're unfathomable when it comes to critiquing your own side. True. It is absolutely true.
It seems a little bit more true. I think it's mostly because people that are left on the right are more radical than people. It's so weird because I feel like most people, like I'm like a moderate leftist. I don't know. I don't really see any moderate right-wing discourse. Like I see a lot, and maybe this is just me being blind, but I see a lot of crazy lefty fucks. I see a lot of crazy right-wing fucks, crazy left-wing fucks, and then like moderate leftists. I don't really see any moderate conservatives. I don't know if they just don't exist or they don't occupy political spaces or what it is, and I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe like the right wing isn't super accepting of moderate conservatives. Maybe I just don't see it. But I either see left, like far left fucking idiots, far right idiots, or like moderate leftists, or like moderate left-leaning people, which is myself. And maybe that's just because of me, because of what I like consume. So like it does seem like the left is more willing to criticize their own brand, but maybe I don't know why. But I could just be missing something. So
No, I have seen people criticize.
Oh, shut
on
the fuck
right.
up. No, you haven't. Please stop.
Yes,
Please shut the fuck up. You absolutely have not.
Why are
One
you
tweet,
swearing? Why
one
is-
tweet where somebody's like, oh, well, I didn't agree when Donald Trump had, you know, a blue tie on. There was no red power tie. It's not a true critique. Okay, get the fuck out of here with that bullshit.
Okay, you don't have to swear at me. Like,
Then don't act like a
you don't
fucking
have to be
moron.
that
Don't
rude
act like an
about it.
idiot. No, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like the right criticizes itself, okay?
I'm not acting like an idiot, Destiny. Like, you don't
Okay,
have
then
to-
you are an idiot.
Jeez. This is crazy.
Whatever, it's coming out naturally. Whatever, however you want to phrase it, my bad.
Okay, so if okay, forget about the BLM. You don't want to talk about that. Fine.
Well, hold on. I didn't say I didn't want. I said I didn't come here to talk about it. If somebody wants to do BLM debate at some point, we can do it. But I didn't come here to talk about BLM.
I take it back. You said you didn't come here to talk BLM. Acknowledge that. Fine, no problem. If you let me finish, can you discuss these points with someone who you think is worthy, who maybe has
For the
a bigger
insurrection stuff,
platform?
you can voice as many fucking people as you want in here. 100% sure. Go for it.
Okay, so we have some speakers in the room. They're willing to chat. So
Is he still going?
whoever, if you want to put your hand up, there's Lauren, there's Clint. He came up first, so.
Yeah, I just had a quick question for Stephen because his screenshots unblocked, so his screenshots of his tweets yesterday have been going viral, and I'm just genuinely curious if he is at all concerned with the trajectory of political violence escalating. His reaction, his immediate reaction. Well, I'd imagine that much of it was in jest. Is obviously very inflammatory. I'm personally concerned about the climate in this country. I think that we're inching ever more closely to a potential,
Well, I imagine he's going to say like, "Oh, it's conservatives' fault that we're inching that far close." Like, what did you want him to do?
civil war or something crazy like that. Is that a concern? I mean, you talk about insurrection, you talk about the dangerous precedent of Donald Trump and where this is all headed. Are you open to political violence at this point? Because it seems like it, and that doesn't strike me to be your character. So I wanted to clarify.
That's a fair question.
I am very concerned about political violence in this country and the road to political violence, and you conservatives have been screeching for it nonstop. So I'm not going to be the cuck on the left. your guys' terms. I'm not going to be the cuckold on the left who's crying and screaming for pump the brakes, guys. No violence and civility time. Blah blah blah. While you guys on the right engage in the most absurd forms of reality denialism. While you guys say that January 6th was a peaceful protest. When you guys say, oh, the Whitmer thing, that was all the FBI. The pipe bomb stuff, oh, that was all fake. You guys don't take responsibility for fucking anything. You're supporting literally the most divisive fucking president in all of recent history. And you guys are saying, well, it's just fucking epic and hilarious when he owns the libs. And when you've got Biden, who is like, when it comes to rhetoric, the most milquetoast fucking guy in the world. I don't even know if this guy has a fucking mean bone in his body. And the only picture I see of him posted over and over and over again is him with a close-up shot where there's red, white, and blue lights in the background and it's just the red and you pretend he's a dictator. Fuck you. I'm not gonna be the one calling for oh guys, we gotta be civil, like no fucking violence. No, that's fucking retarded. You guys can lead the way on that one.
Oh my god.
Because you sure as fucking led the way on getting us to where we are now.
All right, well, Stephen, you debated me last year in Tennessee. I ran for vice president of the Libertarian Party. I'm not a conservative at all. So, your tirade.
Aren't libertarians like conservatives? Like, aren't they on that conservative spectrum, or am I just stupid?
It may land with a different audience. It's not going to work on me.
Really? Hold on, wait. I'm sorry. Who are you supporting this election?
Who am I supporting? I haven't declared any support.
Really? What are you leaning for? If I were to go through your Twitter, how many critiques have you made of Donald Trump versus how many critiques have you made of Biden? What do you think? If I were to guess.
Well, seeing as Biden's the president,
It's clearly he's gonna vote Trump.
it would probably be a lot more critiques towards the sitting president.
Oh yeah, but not the one that's coming in that's running for president that was also a president for 4 years?
I've been very critical of Donald Trump. So.
I'm sure. Yeah, okay.
The name of my show is Liberty Lockdown. I'm very, very disappointed in the 2020 era. So odds of me supporting Trump openly or otherwise are pretty slim. But setting that aside, I'm glad to hear
who is he supporting?
That you are concerned about political violence in this country. I just, at the same time, I don't understand your rhetoric yesterday or your response to the violence, basically applauding the loss of a voter for Donald Trump in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I still think that was a little too far, but I'm coming around even more on Destiny's perspective.
It strikes me as callous to put it mildly.
Not as hard as it struck that guy. Just curious, so I'm just looking through your Twitter, okay? You said it is a tremendously fraudulent case brought against the leading candidate to be the next president. Which of the 4 cases against Donald Trump do you think are fraudulent, and why?
Well, first off, I would say that the FBI document case in Mar-a-Lago, given that Biden is guilty of the same crime, if it is one, I think that one's fraudulent.
Okay, just curious on that case. What is the crime?
Yeah, I don't know what it is either, so I'd like to hear that.
It was, I think it was
the Mar-a-Lago. I think this is what it is. I could be wrong. I think what it was that he was over, and I could be wrong about this, so this is fine. I'm okay with being wrong about it, but I'm pretty sure the Mar-a-Lago thing was that he overvalued the worth of that property to get better loans from banks, and since he overvalued it and got those better loans, that would have mean that he owes more taxes on that property, right? Because if he's overvalued, something like that. I could be wrong though. Let me see what it actually is.
Holding confidential documents after he left the White House, right?
You understand there's an intentionality aspect.
Oh, okay. I don't know what the fuck. Then I'm completely wrong. I thought we were talking about the tax thing. Never mind. This is why I'm fucking stupid. If he's withholding that, yeah, I don't know too much about that. I'm just admitting that. Okay, just letting you know.
That, right? You have to intentionally take and then knowingly hold classified information out of a skiff. It's not just like accidentally taking it, right? You understand that a lot of what Donald Trump is charged for in the Mar-a-Lago stuff is obstruction of justice because he told his employee to hide documents from NARA and then the FBI, right? Or did you not know that because you haven't read that indictment, but you have a strong enough opinion about it to tweet about it?
I mean, that was a lot of assertion without actually allowing for me to answer. Yeah, I realize that there's intentionality. Do you think that there was no intentionality with Biden having hundreds of documents at his house?
I'm just saying that the 2 cases aren't comparable. The huge aspect of what Trump is being charged with is the
I didn't even know that I didn't even know that Biden had this issue too.
obstruction charge. because he told his employee to hide documents.
Do you think it's at all odd that there would be this level of investigation into Trump but not into Biden?
I do think that the Trump stuff was really odd. I think the FBI should have kicked his door down a year earlier. I don't know why the fuck they waited so long. They gave him a year to turn those documents over to Nora, and he shunned them, he ignored them, he lied to them, and he had his employee move boxes around, okay, like a fucking ferret running through a maze before the FBI finally caught wind that there was some bullshit going on. Do you think that Nora didn't give him enough time to respond? Why do you think he didn't turn the documents over when they asked?
Okay, same question for you. Why do you have zero concern about Biden possessing classified documents, but you're totally up in arms over Trump? I don't understand.
That's a good question. I want to know.
I'm gonna keep asking until you answer the question. Why do you?
I want to know the answer to that. I want to be more informed on this. I didn't even know that Biden has his own documents, so I'm actually curious about the answer to that question.
Donald Trump waited a full year to turn those documents over to Nora.
Well, because he was trying to withhold the information. But like, what is it? I want to know how it's comparable with the Biden thing.
I don't know.
Why do you think he told his employee to hide them?
I haven't seen that's been proven that he told his employee to hide them. What's the evidence for that?
It's literally laid out in the indictments from recorded conversations. Or do you think the FBI is just making it all up?
Well, the FBI did lie to the FISA court to spy on his campaign before he entered the White House. So yeah.
So you think they made everything up in the indictment? Oh, okay. Well, in that case, then I don't.
Made up everything. Okay, wait. I don't think they made up everything.
Well, then what do you think about?
Why should I trust the FBI?
Okay, then don't. Then I don't know why the fuck I'm talking to you. If you don't trust any of the institutions or any of the investigative bodies, why did you say anything about them? You should have opened with that. You should have, no, Destiny. I only trust what I read on Twitter. I don't trust anything from any of our three letters. I don't trust those guys. Just open with that next time, and we don't have to waste any time. Like, you know,
I already told you I'm a libertarian, so you could have assumed that.
True, you're retarded because it's basically one part and parcel of the same. Okay.
Okay.
You don't need to insult people. I understand.
It's funny though. I mean, listen, it's fucked up, but it's not like Destiny's just insulting people. I mean, he's hitting them with fucking facts. Like, and I want to know more about this Biden thing. I don't know if.
Need to do that. Okay, let's take a question. Sharika Soul has her hand up. Sharika.
It seems like the difference is like Biden. There's no evidence that Biden withheld these classified documents intentionally, and he's just fucking stupid. And I guess what they're getting Trump on is the fact that they have like recorded conversation of him telling people to move around and hide these documents or something. Thank you for the $2 from Maximo One. Biden immediately complied. That's the difference. Oh, okay. Oh, then that's okay. Then who gives a shit? Okay.
You can unmute yourself.
Destiny, I just have to say that you are an adult male. And
God, just you could tell in this woman's voice that she's mad that he took the name Destiny because I'm sorry, because she's probably a black stripper. I'm just fucking being stupid. I'm so sorry. Okay, I want to hear it.
I that you're talking to some of the women in here, well, Kat specifically.
Why the women? He's talking. And listen, it's fine to criticize him for being an asshole, but he's doing it to everybody. No. Like, he's criticizing fucking... He's yelling at the guy the same way.
It's actually really disheartening to listen to. Also, I am black, and...
Like, okay. I didn't know that.
I'm kind of tired of white liberals denying the violence in the black community and using Black Lives Matter, specifically protests, who, by the way... He
doesn't. He's vehemently against it. He got in trouble for saying that, like, store owners should fucking grab their guns and, like, do what they have to do to defend their shit. He alluded to it a little bit. He like even when he was saying, he said, "I probably agree with most of what you're going to say about BLM in a conversation, but I'm not here to talk about that."
The black neighborhoods that have the protest, they end up being destroyed and trashed. And it's not you that comes to the neighborhoods and helps clean up those neighborhoods after a protest. So for you to speak on Black Lives Matter protests and say they're not violent or whatever you were trying to say,
he wasn't trying to say that. He was trying to say that most of them weren't violent.
It's disrespectful. It's disingenuous, especially to black women who have to live in those neighborhoods.
I don't like this person is probably a liberal because shut up with all the fucking like identity politics. You know what I mean?
And the black children.
Thank you as a black woman for showing up to show that retardation can transcend both gender and race.
Stop. Jesus Christ. What a shame. Oh my God, that's crazy. Oh my.
I'm not retarded. You're the white man.
I don't know why the fuck. What do you think I'm speaking on for BLM? This conversation is about BLM. I don't know why. I don't even know who the fuck you're talking to right now.
Stop cussing.
I can cuss when I want. What do you mean I can say what the fuck I want? It's freedom of speech.
Because
Twitter.
it's disrespectful.
Disrespectful what? This isn't your fucking Twitter space. You're not here to tell me what I can say or not say.
Black Lives Matter out of your mouth. You're a white man.
BLM. Black people need me. I'm going to be the white savior for BLM. I love BLM. I'm the leader of BLM. I'm the trouble leader of BLM. Oh, yes, I love BLM. Oh, yes, Black Panthers. I'm joining right now. Oh, BLM.
Keep it real.
I am keeping it real.
Black men are violent towards black women, and we don't need people like you constantly using us.
What the fuck is... What's happening right now? What the fuck?
for political talking points. Mind your own business and quit talking about a race that you don't know nothing about. We don't know you. You're not in our neighborhood.
It's a little weird to say you know nothing about black people. Black people and white people are the same, bro. I know everything about black people. I love black people. Every time I go to a theater, I love listening to them while the movie's playing. It's incredible. I love it. Unironically, the best haircuts, the best food, the fattest booties. Okay, I gotta stop. I think I'm bordering disrespect. I love black people. Black people love me. I love black women. I love Sketch, and he loves black men. And, you know, I think it's a beautiful thing. I think love is beautiful. I think life is beautiful.
BLM. Are you lost? Are you lost right now? How did you even wander in here? Are you okay right now?
Mental distress, and you need to get on medication. Stop talking to women crazy. You only talk like that because you're behind a screen. If you were there and she had a whole bunch of men standing by her, there's no way you would keep talking to her like that. You're a punk.
Okay.
He probably would talk like that in person. I don't think that he's worried about a threat of violence from people. So
thank you, Sharika. Thank you so much for your valuable contribution. Okay.
Is her name Sharika, or was he making fun of her?
Who did?
Okay, let's try to keep it civil, guys. Let's just try to speak with each other without not talking over each other. It's hard to hear when, you know, she's trying to speak and you're just going BLM, and we can't understand you guys. You know, it's hard to hear. I'm sure you know this. Like, I shouldn't have to explain that, but one at a time would probably be best. And maybe if you didn't come to speak about BLM, you don't have to speak about it. If you don't want to, Destiny, that's fine.
Well, as the self-appointed leader of the BLM chapter in my city, I felt it necessary to say I am the self-appointed leader of the BLM chapter in Miami.
Self-appointed?
So, yes.
Do you think does BLM stand for large mansions? Buy large mansions? Do you know about that?
Yep, I got the largest one, and I only invite my white friends to hang out in it.
Can't you at least just like laugh it off without being so angry? Like this.
I'm not angry. I'm being very serious right now.
He's literally making a joke. Why are you saying that he's angry?
Will impact you, you know, in any meaningful ways. Can we at least like bond over a mutual disdain for Pearl Davis? Like, come on.
What? This woman is a pick-me. Shut up, you dumb bitch. Like, I mean, I don't like Pearl, but like, shut up. Oh, can we bond over? Fuck off.
Maybe.
Just like lighthearted. Maybe that's okay. That's progress. I'll take that.
She might end up fucking him. So.
I like that. Okay. Does anyone else want to jump in to say anything or to ask a question? Hey, Lauren.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I'll make a comment. Oh boy. Listening to this, I will say I think there is a serious problem on the right now.
There's a serious problem with your mic, Lauren. Okay.
Just the right, politics in general, with people not actually reading the documents, people getting their information from memes. I actually do think it's a little atrocious that from my side of the political spectrum and what I read on my timeline, I don't hear more about the Trump indictments and the actual documents going forward.
Fair point.
I think that's going to be something I'm going to be doing going forward, is actually reading those indictments, because I think it's important for when debates like this happen. And Kat, we can read them together. We'll go over it together. Do a little
Sounds good.
session.
I'm in.
Sounds good. Now that you're being nice to me. Okay.
I will also say this disregard of actual research that is pervasive in the political sphere is the same reason I got canceled and called a genocide denier for stating that no bodies existed in the alleged indigenous mass graves in Canada. I'm sure a lot of people remember that story.
I don't.
None were ever found, but that lie still persists. And, you know, churches burned to the ground and the country put into havoc millions and millions of dollars of our tax money spent on this cause. And all because a bunch of people decided to believe memes over doing actual research. And I get being upset about it. Believe me, I was upset about it.
I don't know how much of this is real or not. I don't know anything about this.
I had death threats in my inbox, threats towards my family, my children, and this is genuinely destroying our countries and democracy, this low information kind of engagement with politics. But I'm also aware that the people who haven't done enough research, haven't done enough reading on these subjects, aren't necessarily evil and shouldn't be discounted entirely, even if they're the ones that are sending me threats. I apologize. I'm in there for
I agree, bro. Not all stupid people are evil. You know what I mean? But all evil people are stupid. Nah, they're usually smart, which is why I don't understand how the fuck Trump is able to garner so much. He's so fucking dumb.
Now. Okay. You guys can hear me all right.
We can hear you.
Yeah. So, you know, in some cases, these people are my family, my lifelong friends that I've had that completely disagree with me on these topics, that I think are sometimes ill-informed on these subjects. And I think that...
all right, so I want to see what her contestment to what Destiny's saying. I don't really care about her jerking everybody off morally. I don't care about that.
They're deserving of respect to some degree, to some level. Just because my country has been defrauded by our government into believing mass graves and genocide exists that didn't happen, and I've received threats, you know, that doesn't mean I have to treat every leftist cruelly, nor laugh or mock or celebrate if they are killed, especially when they're innocent and we're just showing up to a rally. And I think there's a much better approach than the one that Stephen has been taking, particularly when... I
think the fact that this guy was tweeting out Putin worship makes it the most fucking hilarious misfire that could have possibly happened.
He deserved to get shot.
I didn't say he deserved to get shot. I'm just saying he doesn't deserve any sympathy for it, okay? And it might warrant a laugh or two.
I think you'll find that people care a lot more what you have to say when you acknowledge that they might be human, that they have some integrity, that you can kind of show a little bit of respect.
She's right about this.
I mean, you've got family members that would agree with this guy. I don't think you laugh at them being shot.
My mom and dad taught me fuck around and find out as like a first principle of how to navigate the world. So if they ended up going to a fucking rally like this, cheering for a fucking insurrectionist dude or whatever, yeah, they deserve it 50 times over. They served in the Air Force. They know better. They took an oath to the Constitution to serve this country, not to serve a fucking king. Why the fuck? I don't know why you guys asked me this question. Like, whatever happened to your parents? Yeah, if they went to a crazy fuck rally like this, if something happened, it would be sad. I'd probably personally sad. But what the fuck do you want me to say? Like, what do you expect to happen?
Wait, you think
attending a political rally is a fucking fuck around and find out scenario?
I think that supporting a prior president that engaged in insurrection. Yeah, I'm tired of pretending like that's just like a normal, ordinary thing that you're supposed to accept as an American citizen. That's unhinged. That is fucking insane to me.
I have a question. Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Do you honestly think that people, despite like, yes, I have seen the tweets mentioning the word king. Do you think people want him as king for real?
Yes.
You don't
I don't know. I mean, he's acting like it, kind of. No.
think that you do?
Yep.
Like, what causes you to make that conclusion? Except
Show
for
me
him
a
being-
single conservative commentator that had anything critical to say about the criminal immunity case. Show me one that even fucking read half of
Okay,
it, actually.
but
But show me one. Find me one and maybe I'll believe you. Maybe.
No. Just one sec. I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about your.
Well, that is about it. If you're not willing to disagree with him getting criminal immunity on the things that he's done wrong, if you agree with him, and run defense for him, starting a riot, an insurrection, if you agree with him, trying to not peacefully transfer power after losing an election, after his own conservative judges said that like there was no wide scale voter fraud that had any meaningful impact on the election. If you don't criticize those things, then like the argument is going to be like, oh, then you must want Trump to be your king. So yeah, I think that's the argument that's being made.
Your belief that his supporters, the Trump supporters, would literally make him king if they could.
Yes. They literally call him Emperor Trump. Yeah, it's all a joke. It's just a meme, LOL.
The people that believe they're fighting for freedom and to preserve the constitutional republic that is the United States,
No one gives a fuck.
Hold on a sec. Look, can I just finish? I know you're really skilled. You're really good at it.
No, it's just that you just don't know anything about like Donald Trump literally has tweets on like Truth Social saying he wants to suspend the Constitution, and you're asking me, you don't think the people that are supporting him in the Constitutional Republic they want a king?
Okay, I'll just restart. So once again, so the people that champion, when, for example, on issues that are not related to the subject, they say give it back to the states because the states should have the power to say they voted for example, on abortion. Like they say they give it to the states. Is that not them upholding the constitutional republic and the process?
No,
of
it's
the
because
United
they
States?
like the idea of. Let me answer the question without being like a rambling like 50 question. Okay, then you ask me the next question you want. Okay, no. When they say throw it back, find me a single conservative who is excited about throwing abortion back to the states as they are about supporting the right for sanctuary cities to exist, and then I'll believe you. No, conservatives don't give a fuck about states' rights. Absolutely not. They only support it in this case because they know.
Oh, I see this. Okay, I get it. Jesus Christ.
That it'll mean less abortion than what there were. They don't mean less abortion rights than there were before. That's the only reason they support it.
Stephen, real quick, man, you said that basically because Donald Trump is an insurrectionist, attending his rally is supporting a fascist dictator or whatever, and ultimately it's a fuck around and find out scenario. You'd have to then extrapolate that logic to believe that the 70+ million people that voted for him are also guilty of supporting them and therefore a fair game and in a fuck around and find out scenario. So
I would say no to that. I think that there's a difference between going to like a rally, and again, I don't think that the guy deserved to get shot, but there's a difference between going to a Trump rally, that means you really like him, versus voting for him because you think that he's a better option than like the fucking than Biden, who can barely formulate a sentence. I don't think it's the same thing. Oh fuck, I missed a ton of goodies. But no, I don't think that that's the same thing at all.
Am I misreading here? Are you saying that all of these people are open to assassination attempts?
I wouldn't say open to assassination. I'm just saying that if it happens, there should be zero fucking sympathy for anybody involved.
So you believe that
hold on, just to be clear.
half of the country deserves no sympathy?
I obviously disagree with that.
Really?
Yes. When half of the country is supporting an insurrectionist, yes. Democracy only works, and if you're a libertarian, I don't even know what. Actually, I don't know what you are. If democracy only works when the people are working to actually like protect it, and when half the people in the country are supporting somebody that is undemocratic, then no, I'm not going to sit here and shed tears for people that end up being the victims of their own insane fucking ideology. No, that's fucking stupid. Why do I waste my time? There are way better things to cry over, like how fucking horrible Game of Thrones turned out. I'm not going to sit here and
That's so true. That's so true. That's so true. Game of Thrones is fucking terrible. I loved it, but the end was terrible. That is something worth that we should care about. It was actually a fucking abysmal dog shit. Disney strikes again because they wanted to get them to write Star Wars, and they fucking caved in and decided to write an absolute dog shit of a show to end it off. It was getting kind of bad since like season 6 was getting a little rough when they just decided. Like, it got weird when Daenerys became like the leader of all of the Dothraki. It's fine that it happened. The way that they did it was like really lazy and stupid. They thought this woman was made of fire magic and a demon, and then all of a sudden she showed up and lit a house on fire and killed all the other calls or whatever. And they're like, wow, I guess we're going to support her because she's really cool. Like, okay, they would have thought that she used fucking magic. She had somebody use magic, and that killed her literal husband. So it does not make any sense. Checkmate liberals. I agree with this take in general, and then it even gets a little bit worse. I liked the incest part where he fucked his aunt. That's kind of hot. But outside of that, there was really nothing redeemable about the Game of Thrones show after a certain point. I would have been fine with her becoming the leader of the Dothraki, but they were so lazy about it. They had Yara, struggle to become a leader of the fucking Iron Islands because they were regressive and didn't want to vote in a woman. But they still respected her. But fucking Daenerys, who they thought was just a psychotic fucking, demon magic user, they were like, yeah, she killed our guys. I guess she's the boss now. It doesn't make any sense. It's not even just ends there. I mean, the last season was quite literal dog shit garbage. It was fucking stupid. So
lose sleep over dipshits that are getting off as they engage in like insurrectionist supporting rhetoric. That's fucking crazy.
Just on a personal note, man, I really feel like you've lost your humanity.
I know,
concerned
and that's
for you,
great.
honestly.
And I wish that, and maybe one day, I don't know, maybe if you guys grow up a little bit, maybe you'll know this. Saying the most disgusting, horrible shit that you can in a polite tone of voice is one of the most horrible things that you can do as a human being. And the idea that just because you calmly and politely suggest that a guy that tried to overthrow the republic ought to be president, and that's a respectable opinion because you say it with a low voice, is beyond redemption to me. It's disgusting.
Okay, so you think we're disgusting? You think we're a basket of deplorables?
Well, I mean, they're definitely being weak about it, so sure.
Okay, I have a question that's sort of related. I see that a person named Chase Geyser challenged you to a lawful duel under the Texas Penal Code.
Oh, okay.
22.06. I'm not sure what that means. But then it looks like you blocked him after that. Did you not want to discuss that particular subject with him because you think
why would I accept a
Why would you want to accept a fight, like a duel? That just seems stupid.
lawful duel with somebody?
Because because he seems like he would maybe be more equipped to talk about the things that you've read yourself. Maybe
If he wants to talk,
What is a duel? Are they talking about like a lawful duel? Sounds like he wants to fight him.
about something, then sure, we can talk. Why the fuck am I gonna accept a fucking duel? That sounds fucking retarded.
I think that was just his way of saying, can we chat about it? Like, maybe I said it politely and in my soft, disgusting tone that you don't like, but, he was...
If he wants to chat, yeah, sure, drag him in. I don't know why we would assume that means debate. I don't know why when Donald Trump says we need to fight like hell to take our country back, you would say, well, that doesn't really mean anything. But when another guy says, penal code 112, whatever the fuck, challenge you to a fucking duel, like, I don't know. If you want to drag him in, he wants to chat, we can, but no, it's just...
That sounds like he wants to, like, fight him under some kind of law. What the fuck?
Spamming, you just, like, shitpost people.
I don't think I can bring him in.
What's the guy's name on Twitter or whatever?
Hold on one sec. I'll let you know. Chase.
Oh, yeah, I saw the InfoWars, too, so I know that he's, like, an actual fucking retard as well.
Is everyone a retard? Because
people that are on InfoWars are all retards, yes. Like, if that guy would have been in the audience, like, the bullet would have went one in hole and out the other, and there would have been no damage done. That's how fucking stupid anybody that works at InfoWars is, yes.
Okay.
Those are the crimes
I disagree with that assessment, but
I'm sure you do.
That one I kind of agree with. They shouldn't be shot, but they are very stupid.
that aren't being charged.
Okay, sorry, hold on.
Are they still going on with this?
Okay.
Oh my god.
So you didn't want to talk to him because
No, he wants to chat, sure, go for it.
He's from InfoWars.
I unblocked him,
Okay.
he wants to chat. I just said he's stupid. I talk to stupid people for a living, that's how I make my living, yeah.
I have a quick question.
Well, you got to give you props for doing the living with what you're doing. You're pretty successful. So hats off to you for being successful at what you do, I guess.
Was that her trying to insult them? That was just weird.
Sorry, did I hear someone chiming in?
Yeah, I just decided to shut up, like holding my hand up too long for a high five.
Go for it, Lauren.
Yeah, Stephen, you tweeted out earlier a Sam tweet in which he said that every day you've got Republicans calling for concentration camps and something along those lines, and you liked it both and shared it. Can you name a single Republican with an ounce of political power or any sort of sway that has called daily for concentration camps?
I guess that's the question. That's a good question. Okay.
Sure, Hassan's tweet there, if I had to guess, it was in reference to the border policies that Donald Trump has where we were separating people at the border and then keeping them locked up in facilities that were understaffed. Pretty sure that's what that reference
Do you
is.
think that those...
I mean, listen, I'm not trying to be that guy. I've said this before. This is my hottest take, apparently, to some people. I don't think that we should be letting all these people that are asylum seekers into the country unless we confirm that they have a lawful asylum-seeking, right. Because that's the thing, is it's incentivized. What happens is they come over here, they seek asylum, we do a catch and release, and then they have to come back for court cases, and 75% of them don't show up for the court cases, and they just get lost in the United States, and now they're here, and they get to benefit from things because, illegals get different benefits in the United States, which is fine. I understand wanting to support people. They do a lot of good work. I get it, but that's a broken system. I think have a media access 100% camp that's well regulated and stocked with medicine and even schooling and whatnot as a while these people wait to have their process being done, instead of allowing them access into the United States. I think that's not a bad idea. It incentivizes people coming over here if they know that they're going to just go into a fucking facility and wait it out. I'm not against that. I mean, maybe that's expensive. Maybe that's the problem. I don't know. And I'm saying media access so that there's still the media would be there and they can criticize whatever's going on. I think non-media access is the biggest problem, but I'm not necessarily against that. Asylum seekers that haven't been confirmed asylum seekers. I don't know. Or I guess we could hire more judges and lawyers. That's another way you can go to, sure. And you can expedite the process more quickly. But I don't think that doing a catch and release and putting them in, I mean, maybe it's more economically friendly. Maybe that's the problem. I don't really know, but I don't know. Maybe that's my hot take. I guess maybe I'm wrong about that. I'm just saying. I mean, I feel like the incentive structure to come here is you come here, you seek asylum, and then you go get lost in the United States, and you're pretty much good at that point. It seems a little bizarre to me.
Those are concentration camps?
I mean, definitionally, they might have been. I'm not sure. Probably, I don't know. I wouldn't call them that. But
do you think? I mean, you just liked and shared a tweet referring to them as concentration camps. Do you think they are concentration camps or not?
I don't think that I'm going to account for the exactness of a particular insult that's used against a side that doesn't even acknowledge what happened on January 6th. So if there was a person that wanted to critique the particular way that a word or term or definition is used, it sure as fuck wouldn't be somebody on the right. Absolutely fucking not.
Well, I thought your whole qualms with all of this is that the right-wingers aren't actually reading the documents. They don't understand.
No, my qualms with right-wingers is they're anti-American, they don't support the Constitution, they don't support the country that they're a part of, and that they engage in patterns of conceptual and precise pieces of misinformation in order to spread the lies and the mischief and whatever the fuck else they do online. It's not over whether or not they use a particular term right or wrong in a thing. It's the fact that they'll come on and they'll talk about criminal indictments and insurrection without being familiar with any of the underlying material. That's my issue.
Well, luckily I'm a Canadian. I mean, you've got a Canadian asking you.
Don't worry, there's a lot of them in here.
Concentration camps, and it sounds like you're just going to be out here tweeting inflammatory rhetoric with.
Right now, yeah, basically, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that you don't even believe in. You don't think they're concentration camps.
I think it was funny. It was funny enough to. It was funny enough to.
It's your side.
Well, that's
That probably isn't going to help his credibility. Fair to her credit, yeah.
Rules of discourse that the right has said. So yeah, why not have a little bit of fun? They can't have all the fun in this country, right?
I think that's why a lot of people usually respect you, is because you don't usually accept those rules of discourse, whether it be right or left. I mean,
well, unfortunately, when you're a grown up and you live in the whole world, you kind of have to accept. Listen, I've seen enough of your tweets to know you have to. If somebody were to go up to you and say, "Lauren, why do you have so many problems with housing or immigration in Canada or whatever?" And then you're like, "Well, I've got issues because of X, Y, Z." Well, hold on, that's just their opinions. Like, you don't have to play by their rules. You don't have to worry about the changes that they impart on your country. You can just do your own thing. No, that's not how it works here. Okay, this is like the rules of discourse and the rules of media reporting, the rules of accountability that the right has set. So I'm not gonna have the right hold me to some different standard that they themselves don't even begin to approach.
Just as moronic as the people you think you're criticizing.
I don't think I'm just as. It's not about being moronic. It's about being anti-American. It's about being opposed to democratic rule of law. Yeah, but that's funny. I mean, you can pretend it's the same. Yeah, no, that's cool. That's good. Yep, it is. It's the exact same. It's exact. Calling separation of families at the border a concentration camp. That's the exact same thing as saying January 6th. What was that? Didn't he say mostly peaceful?
I think it's wild. I think it's wild that America has concentration camps. In fact, I'd say not trying to get this president out of office, that would be anti-democratic. It's your duty to get this president out of office if he is running concentration camps at the border, right?
I mean, that's what Republicans are saying worse than that now. So I don't know why you think you're making a point.
We have Rob with his hand up. Rob, I've invited you as Speaker Rob Noor. Hopefully I'm saying that right.
That is correct. Thank you so much. Edgelord Destiny, great to be here.
What the fuck is this? Is this guy a radio host?
Know that you really don't like people that are read up, so happy to beat you around on these subjects like always. To start with, I find most repugnant about what you're doing, not that you're an edgelord making jokes, but that you're a disingenuous sack of shit. Because, as I've debated you in the past, you started talking before January 6th ever occurred about how the BLM riots were justified. It was just the other side of the coin of voting. Of course, once you realized that grip wouldn't do as well for you when you were debating the Rittenhouse shit, you completely 180'd your position.
What?
Hold on, just to be clear, wait. I don't think I've ever supported violent riots against private property. I don't know if I've ever supported that in the U.S. The farthest my position ever went was if people wanted to violently riot against public property. That maybe that's different. I'm pretty sure that's the farthest I've ever gone.
You shouldn't be rioting violently, but if you're going to attack the institutions that you're rioting, don't attack the fucking local target. Yeah, okay, that sounds based.
Prior to Rittenhouse, I don't know where that opinion comes from. I've always supported protests and even riots to some extent, as long as it's not against private property. But
that is exactly true. What you said to me was, even though you weren't sure how much of the violence was against private property versus public, but to the extent that the George Floyd riots were against public property, you said that that's fine. If you feel the system's not working for you, we're America, goddammit, and rioting's the other side of the coin to voting. Now, when that occurs on January 6th,
did I ever say rioting is the other side of the coin to voting? That's a really strange statement I did.
I see what this guy is saying. He's saying, like, okay, you're telling like BLM people to attack public institutions if that's what they feel disenfranchised by. Right. By the way, even if you did do that and you got arrested, I wouldn't be defending you. But at least your anger is directed in the right area instead of the local target or local black-owned business. Versus like people going in and attacking the Capitol. Yeah, maybe there's a little bit there. I mean, I think at the end of the day, it's like one of those things where like if BLM protesters were attacking police stations, I'd be like, that's not good. But they even if I didn't care, like I would still be like, oh, you need to be arrested. Like I would be like, oh, I get it. But you still need to be arrested. Like that's pretty much what it is. But I think that there's probably a little difference between protesting for like systemic oppression, right? Which you could say is not real or whatever, versus Donald Trump orchestrating the entire fabrication or this victim complex of him getting fucking not dutifully elected, even though he was shut down by every conservative judge that he had to look at the case, and apparently tried to fake electors to change the sway of this thing. He tried to have fucking Mike Pence to support him, and when he didn't, it was rather violent. Didn't stop the protests until he like actively lost, even though he was being told and begged to say something to rile things down. Probably a little different, but maybe there's a little bit of an argument there.
Yeah, that's a really strange argument, but go ahead. Okay.
I will try to find the clip for you. But you said that they were justified at the time. Then what's even more egregious is your take on January 6th. You initially had said to at least one other person, a left-wing streamer, and on a panel that I was on, that it was absurd to think this was a serious attempt to overthrow the government by the riot that day. You basically alluded to the fact that because there were so many people that outnumbered the police, that it's clear if they really were trying to violently overthrow the government, they'd have taken far greater actions. Now you're suggesting that people
Did he actually say that
disagree with your new position that this was clearly an insurrection are people that are fucking around and should find out because they can't call it out.
What do you think is the difference? Yeah, sure. What do you think is the difference between then and now, Rob?
There is no difference materially.
There is a huge difference in what we knew publicly at the time. There is a huge difference in what was publicly known. You can go and I'm sure you've listened to me and Pisco argue about this at length on my channel.
Yeah.
I was massively against the concept of being an insurrection originally until it came out that there were some Proud Boys people there that were trying to coordinate some shit. I was like, oh, okay, well, maybe. But then once all of the Trump stuff came out, abso-fucking-lutely, on Donald Trump's end, 100%, he was engaging in insurrection and he was utilizing the protesters to do as much. Now, whether or not all of the protesters themselves, knowingly, even the ones that broke in, knew that they were part of an insurrection or not, at this point, I kind of lean towards yes, but I'm not like, but Donald Trump, absolutely and unequivocally yes.
The difference is the actions.
Oh, so it sounds like he changed his position when more information came out. Okay, that sounds normal.
That were taken by people that day are what would constitute an insurrection. And those actions have been on display for you to see the public evidence of the day of January 6th and all throughout after that. And you correctly came to the conclusion that it was a riot that got out of hand. Now, let's say that you think because of evidence, you even specifically said, of course, there might have been some Proud Boy type people there LARPing, they might have done some bad shit, but the overwhelming majority of the people that were there, it was not a serious attempt to overthrow the government, it was a riot. Now, let's say that you've since heard evidence of things Donald Trump did. That doesn't change whether the action itself was an insurrection. You have no evidence that Trump willfully told those people to go be violent. And in fact, the irony is...
Hold on. Donald Trump invited all of those people to Washington to give a speech on the 6th, at the same time that he had given Pence 7 full slates of electors and pressured him to accept them, and then he sent them all to the Capitol building, I guess, hopefully to protest to delay the certification of the vote, and as it was being delayed, he made calls to the lawmakers, continuing to try to delay the certification of the vote. And the people at the Capitol building were using violence as part of the protest/riot. That's an insurrection.
That is not an insurrection. And if you'd call that an insurrection and narrow the definition as such, then you would have to admit that things like May 31st, 2020, where there were violent left-wingers that, unlike January 6th, used lethal weapons, injured 47 guards, burned down a guard station, and attempted to get into the White House to the point where Trump had to be removed into a bunker, which then...
Oh, I don't know anything about that, but if that's true, that's sure.
And many on the left, including Joe Biden, mocked him for having to go to the bunker. That would also be an insurrection. And one of the points I want to
Rob, just as a quick thing, okay? All right, this is the difference between me and every single spineless fuck on the right. If you were to give me an example of this, and if the examples were to lay out the criteria that I've set forth for an insurrection, what do you think I would say?
Well, you know of this. I would think you would say that there are some sort of meaningless differentiations because no two situations will ever be completely analogous.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not true. What I would say, and I'll say it right now, that's not true. It's funny that you think that there's a shortage of criticism for fucking BLM or whatever on my side, when that's one of the things I'm the most criticized for. That's fucking hilarious. But no, if you were to show me that there was some organized group of people who were trying to circumvent or overthrow some fucking government process, and they did so in a means that incorporated violence, I'd probably say, oh wow, I guess that could probably qualify as an insurrection too. Sure, that's probably what I would say if I assuming I saw the evidence.
Okay. Then real quick, because the FBI decided not to have a massive task force, because Democrats seemed to say it was mostly peaceful, the National Guard shouldn't be deployed, etc., because that investigation didn't take place, use your best judgment. What do you think a bunch of violent lefties with Molotov cocktails attacking the White House, injuring 47 guards and burning down a guard station in an attempt to get into the White House, what do you think their motivations were?
I truly have no fucking idea. I haven't looked into it at all.
Right. Isn't that convenient? The FBI never investigates the things that occur on the Democrat side, and then you say, well, what can we do? We don't have
the FBI never investigates. Hold on, I'm sorry. What did Hunter Biden get convicted of for having drugs in a video? So therefore he lied on a 4473 for a firearm? Hold on, the FBI never investigates their own or Democrats or convicts them? What was the whole fucking not Durham? What was the thing about Biden and the fucking documents or whatever, that whole special counsel or whatever that was appointed by Merrick Garland, the Democrat DOJ? And I'm sorry, who did Donald Trump pardon? Every single fucking person that got convicted that was part of him? How the fuck are you trying to say there's a double standard here that doesn't exist on the Republican side? You're insane, Rob.
The rapidity in raising your voice is unimpressive to me. I could do it just as well.
Dude, then go knock yourself out.
Nonetheless, right? No, it's clear. For example, let's take those one by one. The investigation into Biden, it was covered up from the get-go. The only reason that it ever resulted in any charges was because 2 whistleblowers from the IRS outed the fact that the FBI was covering for this. Now we know the CIA was as well. Then a judge blew apart the sweetheart plea deal that was given to Hunter.
It was funny because I don't know too much about the Hunter Biden thing. I remember listening to Lex Friedman talk to Ben Shapiro about Hunter Biden, and even Ben admitted in some capacity that this story was being sensationalized. I just remember that in the 3-hour-long conversation. It was a small offhanded comment, but this was a while back.
So with egg on their face, they charged him with the most meaningless crime that couldn't be connected to his father and their family, which was a gun charge when he was high, which I don't even think he should have been charged for.
Hold on, this happened under Donald Trump's administration. Wouldn't it have been his FBI?
Yes, the same FBI that wanted an insurance policy and preventing him. The same FBI that for 4 years leaked to the press and illegally spied on him. Yes.
The same FBI where Comey came out and he made statements to the press about Hillary's email usage in a totally unprecedented manner. The same FBI that had...
Are you going to clown yourself on this again after the last time I clowned you?
Oh my God.
Well, I mean, yeah, if Comey didn't come out about those emails, about the emails right before the election, she might have won. So the argument that they're really skewed towards Democrats doesn't have as much weight here.
You're wrong. Sure, everyone in the audience, me and Destiny went back and forth for over an hour on this, and the IG report showed that actually the reason that Comey did that and then had to come out later and re-announce the opening of the Hillary investigation was because the FBI intentionally sat on the fact that there were more emails on Anthony
Rob, your entire argument hinges, and the same thing that you just put forth now hinges on the idea that 1 or 2 whistleblowers can force the hand of a 3-letter to make anything public, ignoring the fact that people like Julian Assange have been fucking pushed out of the country for over a fucking decade. You're telling me that the FBI, they're so fucking corrupt that they can engage in all this cover, that they'd be pressured to have 1 or 2 whistleblowers make the media force them to release shit? They can just ignore it in American minds and move on in literally 1 fucking week.
So you see how Destiny laments when he's talking to left-wingers that don't understand the facts of the case, how they're uninformed. But when pressed and someone's more informed of these IG reports than him that show this is exactly what happened, that Comey himself admitted that the reason he came out was because there was this...
This guy does seem to be a bit formidable to Destiny on some of these topics. I'm just going to be real with you.
whistleblower that was going to come out, and he was afraid that the FBI would have an albatross on their neck because the American people would be furious after the election to find out that there was an allegation that the FBI sat on evidence of Hillary's potential criminality, and he got blown up in that debate. He knows it, but he defaults to these meaningless platitudes of saying, well, there could never be corruption from whistleblowers outing, because if that was the case, then whistleblowers would have always outed, or the FBI would have been more corrupt in taking care of them. It's nonsensical. And so furthermore, then, like going to the Herbert, I'll finish with this. The Biden business, the Hunter Biden business, what they didn't charge was the obvious FARA violations because they didn't want it to connect to Joe Biden. The fact that Hunter Biden was working with the spy chief of China, with the executives in Burisma that were considered by Joe Biden himself to be corrupt foreign oligarchs, and with...
I could have swore that, like, yeah, he got a job because his dad was Joe Biden. It was like nepotism. And then I think, okay, the Burisma corruption, was that when, like... Obama's administration like forced their hand to like do something to change or out some corrupt person in that particular entity? I don't remember this. I mean, I don't know all the specifics. So let's see what Destiny has to say.
Into the United States, and no doubt his father. Those are the crimes that aren't being charged.
Okay, sorry, hold on. I stepped away from it. I'm so sorry. I know that you were doing your whole fucking rant. Relating to the insurrection stuff, do you agree that Donald Trump tried to get 7 false slates of electors?
I'd call them alternate slates, but yes.
Hold on. They were not certified or appointed by the state legislatures. Do you acknowledge that they were fraudulent slates? That when they signed the papers that said that we assembled at City Hall and we are the state assembly and we are the duly appointed blah blah blah, that was a lie. They were fraudulent.
I will say this. Unlike you, I will stay on the topic that you're desperately trying to change to because you're getting blown out on the other side.
Hold on, excuse me. The whole point of this call wasn't to debate every single fucking AGI report and everything that Rob Norwell. That was the point of this fucking call. The point of this was the point of this. The point. No, it's not about getting blown up. The point of this.
Not to interrupt each other. Let each other speak, please. I don't want to mute anyone because Destiny said you don't want to be muted. I'm trying to respect that wish because you agreed to come on, and I really appreciate it. Can you guys just let each other finish sentences? Just like a little bit more than you are. It's hard to hear you guys.
Sure. The topic of this space, the thing that I came here to discuss, was not every single prior.
Well, I'm kind of interested in. I mean, he did bring up the Hunter Biden thing. I'd rather just like satisfy that and then move on first. I kind of want to hear what Destiny has to say about that.
Report? It was the Trump insurrection stuff. That's what we were talking about with Pat. That's what I'm talking about right now. Do you think that Donald Trump did 7 false slates of electors?
I think he did alternate slates of electors that his team recommended as a legal strategy, that was the potential to go through because he felt that the election was fraudulently taken from him and that courts were unwilling to hear cases that he truly believed in.
Would you support President Biden if he SEAL Team 6 Donald Trump? Because he thinks he legitimately thinks what if he legitimately thinks he's a threat to the nation?
I would not support that. I would not have supported Donald Trump if he did the same to Joe Biden.
Well, but you did. Why would you support Donald Trump? No, you don't need an analogy. Why would you support Donald Trump creating false slates of electors?
But so let's do the analogy. Would I support Joe Biden using a false slate of electors?
No, it doesn't count now. It doesn't. Wait, no?
Let me answer, please. I would be pissed off. I would say that that's terrible. I wouldn't think that it's criminal. I think that what would happen would be that this was an attempt to have a legal challenge to the election that was a Hail Mary. I think that had Trump been successful and Mike Pence gone through with this, it would have went to the courts. The courts would have quickly said, we don't see evidence of any sort of...
Hold on, wait. I'm sorry, wait. One step at a time before you do your whole weird revision bullshit, okay? So you admit that the initial 7 slates, those were not authorized by the state assemblies, right?
I do believe that's the case, yes.
Okay, so they were fraudulent. I don't know why you're saying alternate.
Wait,
they were...
just to be autistic, 2 of those out of the 7 did specifically write on them that they were alternates to the main person and only to be brought in if it was found that they were the legitimate electors.
I would have to read that. I wouldn't trust.
Pennsylvania and New Mexico.
Okay, I would have to go and read that. I definitely wouldn't trust hearing that secondhand. But regardless, they were filled out. They claimed on the thing. I guess maybe on 2 of them they didn't. So maybe 5 were false. Okay. When these were sent to Congress, the goal wasn't to have a legitimate debate over the election and whether or not there was voter fraud. They were trying to commit fraud, Rob, right? They weren't looking to have a substantive debate on the floor about whether or not voter fraud had occurred. They were trying to push their own fraudulent electoral votes.
No, that's not true. What was occurring was that, you tell me then, this would be the easiest way to do it. Let's say Mike Pence accepts the alternate slate. What would happen then?
Well, nobody knows. Eastman says that he had several different plans for what could have possibly happened. He could have said that he's accepting the 7 alternate slates. He's going to cut short, I think, the time that the floor can debate, and he either accepts them or he throws it back to the House delegation and they make Trump the president.
What would have happened would have been that it would have went to the court. It would have been basically a constitutional crisis that the court would have looked into. The court would have either found evidence of fraud or not. Most likely you would believe they wouldn't have. And the election would have went to Joe Biden.
Hold on. No, hold on. I'm so sorry. This was not written in any of the Eastman memos. This wasn't the goal. The goal was to get the House delegation to make Trump the president or to get Pence to just choose the false elector slates and for him to make Trump the president. That was the goal.
Right. And what would have happened would have been that it would have went to the Supreme Court.
You don't know that? Why do you just assume that?
It's clear. So you think what would happen when Pence would have just said Trump's president and everyone would have said, ah, shucks, I've been in.
Well, let's say that Pence says Trump's president and then Trump remains president and then what? How does it go to the court? Who investigates that?
The courts would have, as an emergency measure, taken the case immediately.
All right.
Now, wait.
All right. Listen, I'll be honest with you. I'm going to tap out here. Seems like they're just kind of talking about that. We got enough of it. I liked the part where he embarrassed that woman, and that was funny. And now I'm just kind of disinterested in continuing. I don't feel like continuing on for as long as he's doing it. I also have a birthday party to go to.
Any legitimate criticism towards anybody
else?
Still
going. So anyway, maybe we'll see something of value. We could look at it tomorrow. But as of right now, that's it. And I love you guys, and you take care. And let's end the segment.